Okay, my friends, are we live? Can you hear me? Can you see anything in terms of background footage? Let's make sure that things are working properly because this is not a standard stream. Need to definitely make sure things are technically working before we kind of push on with anything today. So I've got some general like Final Fantasy music on in the background. For now, just while I do this intro, I've got my little stroll through Final Fantasy X as background footage. Yeah, I just found this like long video that has supposedly quote unquote relaxing Final Fantasy music in the background. So we've got some music going as well. And hopefully it should be cool. I didn't look through the playlist, but hopefully it's good. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, good. Okay, so I think for this live stream in particular, I think I need to kind of just intro with what's going on. What are we trying to do today with this stream? And obviously, there's a few big clues, but I think it's worth kind of talking about. Because I think there's going to be a lot of, based on the poll that I did, so I did a poll just to see like what kind of audience we have for the stream. And I said, what's your background on this stuff? And it says here that 32% of viewers already play Magic. 5% said, I'll start playing potentially with this Final Fantasy set. And 20%, which is, this is the group that I'm in, say I might buy some cards as a Final Fantasy fan, more so for like the collection aspect, just to have some really cool artworks and like kind of things for Final Fantasy. And the majority is saying, not buying anything, I'm just here to hang out. So that's the kind of crowd that we have today. And the primary goal of this stream is just to have a look through the cards as Final Fantasy fans. So we're not going to be trying to you know, go in depth on anything or, you know, any of that kind of stuff. We're just here to look at pretty pictures mostly. That's the main thing. In terms of my own position, the reason this stream ended up happening and kind of came up is actually something that started, I think, in February of this year. So about four months ago, I started to get some people sending me like links to this whole like Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy thing. And I have to admit that at that point, I had no idea what Magic the Gathering was. Might be a bit embarrassing, but I genuinely didn't know. I'd never played it before. I don't have any friends that play. Like, it was just a complete unknown quantity to me. So the first like 2 or 3 times I had people send me this whole thing, it was more of a, yeah, cool, that's nice. And I didn't really engage with it very much. Yeah, it is live. We are well and truly live. So I'll definitely be looking through the chat and engaging with you guys, but just trying to get this information out there before we really get into the nitty-gritty of looking through cards. So yeah, I had no idea what was going on, and I just assumed it's this thing where obviously, you know, some kind of card game that people are playing, and there's a Final Fantasy collab. There's probably going to be like, I don't know, 20, 30 Final Fantasy cards that they're going to pick. It's just going to be like Sephiroth, Cloud, and a few like other famous things, and then that's going to be that, and it'll be cool for people who actually play the game. And so I didn't really care that much, and I thought, well, if you don't play or know about Magic the Gathering, what's the point? Like, this isn't that interesting to me. So I kind of ignored it like a little bit. I was kind of not too interested. And then as time went on, I just had more and more people sending it to me. And obviously as time went on, more cards started to get revealed, and like the true extent of this kind of collaboration started to become a little bit more clear to me. And there I was thinking that this is going to be some kind of like you know, like I said, like 20 cards, 30 cards, whatever it is. But there are absolutely hundreds and hundreds of these cards. And another thing that I thought was probably likely was that whatever's on these cards, they're probably just going to be like, you know, promo images from the game, screenshots from the game, like stuff that we've already kind of seen before as Final Fantasy fans. And turns out that that's also not the case. Some of it is, of course, like that, yes. But there are a ton of brand new arts done by really great artists that have obviously never seen the light of day before. And so that side of it started to really interest me, because I'm always someone that, you know, the more cool artwork that exists for Final Fantasy X in the world, like the better that is for me. And so starting to see some of these cards, I started to get a little bit more roped in and think, holy shit, like there's some really nice artwork here. And some of these cards might be nice to kind of have, just like a few of them. And so as time went on, I increasingly got more and more interested. And then I realized, just as I say, the true scale of this, and just apparently it's ended up being the biggest pre-sale, I think like the biggest sale basically ever for a Magic the Gathering kind of collaboration thing. So like the amount of demand for these cards has been absolutely insane, and there's a whole other discussion about what's happened to the prices and all that stuff, but we're not going to talk about that too much for this one. We're mostly interested in the cards, but I want to give you guys basically that background. And as of this point, in terms of personally where I'm at, I decided to buy a Final Fantasy X Commander deck for obvious reasons, just to have a whole bunch of Final Fantasy X cards at my disposal. Not because I'm going to be playing really, but more so to potentially like give them away to people. They could be like fun little gifts for this particular channel. Maybe we do like some events or some giveaways and that kind of thing. If some people want certain things, I can potentially like gift them or find a way to basically get them to you guys. And so I thought it'd be pretty cool for me to have my own kind of set of Final Fantasy X cards at least. And then I brought just one single collector booster pack, not like the big box thing, but just like one. And I just wanted to kind of experience that thing of just kind of rolling the dice and seeing if I can pull any really cool looking cards just for like one pack. So that's my kind of level of investment here. I don't intend to buy any more cards except for maybe just a very small amount if I kind of come across them and they end up coming down in price. But that's generally where I'm at. So I think that's generally enough sort of background to know what's going on. And what we're going to do is we're going to spend a lot of time going through these cards because there's a lot of them. Some I'm going to skip much more quickly because let's say they're Final Fantasy 14 cards and I know nothing about Final Fantasy 14. And obviously some of the cards are just more interesting than others. And obviously we'll have a bit of a particular focus on Final Fantasy X, because another reason I like this whole thing is that the cards are kind of quite well thought out. They're far less sort of generic and lazy than I potentially anticipated. There's good callbacks to the original games. Like they've put some quotes in and that kind of thing. And so there's some really nice cards there. And so I think we'll definitely enjoy having a look at them together. So that's generally what we're going to do. And so I'm going to kick things off by starting to show you guys some cards. And I think we'll figure out how we're going to do this. As I say, there's so many, but I say we get started. So how can I do this? Is it this one? Yes. Okay, so what I've done is there is this website that's been linked to me a few times that basically has sort of an extensive list of cards. I believe there are still cards that need to come out. There are, I think at the moment they've got 586 cards on this website. I think some of them might be duplicates or whatever it might be, but as I say, there's just a lot of them. And so we'll get to see them for the first time and see how they look. So this is the display that they have for each card, and we can start to look through. I've put them in like their kind of set number order. The full set is out. Okay, so there's no more Final Fantasy cards to be revealed. Okay, nice. Most are duplicate slash variant arts. Okay. Yeah, cool. If you want the official gallery. Yeah, so I do also have the official gallery here. So let me change tabs. I think this should hopefully work. So I've got it like this. And you can filter for Final Fantasy X only, but I figured I probably won't do multiple streams on this. So I kind of wanted this list just to kind of have them all in one place. Let me see if it looks better if I do this. I think this is probably better for now. And so we can start to kind of run through them and we'll kind of discuss them as we go. So if anyone wants to kind of, I think one of the things I'm most interested in from people who actually play Magic is a particular card just really good in terms of playing the game, like the mechanics of the game? I think that would be quite interesting to know. So I've already heard, for example, that the Bahamut card is like a good card, whether you're a Final Fantasy fan or not. Apparently it's a powerful card. And I think when you have those sort of, if they're a powerful card in general, and they're just a really cool like card that's also rare, then when those two things come together, you start to get really expensive cards. And so we'll just have to see what we come across. The official set is 317 cards. Commander cards are 100 new and 300 reprints with just FF themed art. Anything above those numbers is variants. Okay, so that's already a lot, and that's one of the things that surprised me the most, is just how many cards there are, and it covers everything from Final Fantasy 1 through to 16, so it's pretty insane. The most busted so far is Vivi. That's kind of funny because Vivi is also one of my favorites in terms of art. So if you find a really OP/busted card and it has really cool artwork as well, then those are going to be pretty hard to obtain. So the first one is Bahamut. Of course, we start with a Final Fantasy X card because it has to be, right? Bahamut. Final Fantasy X's Bahamut, I think, is the coolest one anyway. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of cards to see. So we're going to move it along. Ultima, so Final Fantasy 16 shows up next. Yeah, for some of them they do have quotes and some of them they don't. I think we're going to kind of see kind of both types. But most of like the main characters and the antagonists and that kind of thing, they're pretty much all represented. The order that they're in is, I've put them in like their serial, like their kind of release order. So Bahamut was like 0001. Ultima is 0002. So that's what I've decided to go for. Set number order. And so, yeah, if anyone who's in the same position that I'm in that doesn't know the game itself, like doesn't know how to play Magic, this is a good time to ask in the chat. And hopefully we've got people like the Annabelle who really know their stuff and they'll be able to help kind of explain some of the things that we don't understand. So yes, we have Steiner. One of our emojis has popped up. And of course, this is one of the things I'm saying, like all of these kind of, we get fresh new artworks for this stuff. So that's really nice. Chivalry requires a knight to look after his comrades in arms. I will not abandon you. So this is already a pretty cool looking card. I feel like someone could spend hours explaining this game to me and I still wouldn't know. Probably. I've heard it can be, like, it takes a while to kind of really know what you're doing with it. So definitely don't bother trying to explain to me, like, fully how the game works. There's no way I'm going to be able to pick it up just, like, reading text while I'm trying to stream. Okay, next up we've got Aerith. Legendary creature, human cleric. Life link. Whenever you gain life. So these are the kind of callbacks here. So again, this is where like some cool stuff can be found. When Aerith Gainsborough dies, put X+1 over 1 + 1 counters on each legendary creature you control, blah blah blah. So obviously I don't understand that stuff, but the fact that there's a mechanic to do with when Aerith dies in the game, that's pretty cool, I have to say. An easy way to distinguish is a symbol. If it's a crystal with the FF, it's the main set. If it's a chocobo, it's commander. Ah, okay, cool. Waiting for someone to take out an Aerith with Sephiroth. It depends if you played card games before or not. If you come, yeah, that's true. My only background in any kind of card stuff is Pokemon from like 25 years ago, basically. I think I was like 10 years old or something. I had no idea what I was doing other than just wanting to get some cool cards. I don't really know. Okay, Aerith Rescue Mission, the next one. It's probably hard to see in the stream, like the letters are very hard to see, but in the bottom corner they have like a letter to designate how rare they are. So like for example, the Aerith one above was an R, so it's a rare card. This Aerith Rescue Mission is a common card, so obviously easier to get. And this is cool, again, stuff like this. So you've got Aerith Rescue Mission, and then you've got Take the Elevator, or take 59 flights of stairs. Like these touches I thought were really cool. I obviously had no idea that it would like be able to have these kinds of mechanics for these games. I think that's really nice. If I knew how much those 90s Pokemon cards are worth. I've got like a book of them somewhere. I don't think there's anything in there that's like super insane crazy, but I do have some from way back in the day. You can check the logo in the middle right. Black equals common, silver uncommon, gold rare, reddish metal mythic. Okay, I see. That's another easier way to tell. I think visually for the stream it might be a bit easier to look at the bit on the bottom, sorry, in the middle right. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. We've got Ambrosia from Final Fantasy 16. Ambrosia was great. Uncommon card. Italicized text is known as flavor text. It has no meaning other than to remind players of things. Yeah, there are so many cards in here that it's going to be more interesting if there's anything we feel has been left out that should be there. Now, this card I thought was really cool. For a while, they didn't release Final Fantasy, like a lot of Final Fantasy 12 cards came out, I think, later. So I was kind of wondering for a long time, like, where's the cool, like, Ash cards and stuff? And this one came out. And I really do like the artwork for this one. It's an uncommon card. I am simply myself, no more and no less. And I want only to be free. So yeah, I do like this card. I think it looks cool. And that's kind of the main input that I can have into these cards. Like, it looks cool, and I like it. That's about it. Because I do not know enough about how they actually function in the game. But that's cool. Yeah, the community was in a bit of an uproar about how Final Fantasy 12 was underrepresented. I think it's come along nearer the end. I think it probably still is a bit underrepresented. But they seem to release some nicer cards for sure. Now comes one of the cards that personally, for me, is much more important. We have Auron's Inspiration. So you got the man himself in the background, and of course you have the now is the time to choose. Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands. So this is like, for me, this is a great card. Now, probably the good thing is that maybe in terms of gameplay and all that stuff, it's not that important. So you could probably pick this up for relatively cheap if you wanted this one later. I think what I will say is that from what I've understood, right now prices are really inflated. If anyone's watching this and you're feeling a bit of FOMO and you're like, man, like I need to get in on this, I need to get these cards, what if I can't get one? From what I'm seeing, most of the common sense is saying if you haven't brought anything already, just kind of chill. Don't try and FOMO in and buy at these crazy prices. Just give it some time and it should die down. And then you should have a chance to buy some particular cards that you want. Unless like they're really kind of insanely rare and expensive. But this one's really cool. Final Fantasy 13 cards today. Yes, they do. Every game is represented. Like Final Fantasy 11's in there. Like there's a lot of stuff. So this card already is really cool for me personally. Auron's Inspiration. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to find these prints. That's another thing. So people are already talking about like the artwork, wallpapers, that kind of thing. And I totally agree. And that's one of my biggest sort of investments into this in that sense. But I don't know if these artists are able to release these as prints or we'll be able to find them. I'm not really sure. But we'll keep tabs on that kind of stuff. Next up, we have Battle Menu from Final Fantasy VI. Interesting. Attack, ability, magic, item, uncommon card. But it's still cool artwork, obviously. Terra, Gao, Realm, and Cyan, I think. Yeah, the Final Fantasy VI ones are really nice. Obviously, I think because it's so much older than, like, obviously the likes of stuff like 10. They've used that, I think, a bit more like artistic license, and they've created some really cool stuff with that. It's nice. Okay, so now we have this card. Cloud Midgar Mercenary. This is a mythic rare card, so it's like some of the rarest cards that you can get. And from what I've heard, I'm sure that Annabelle will clarify this or like back up what I'm saying. Apparently, this is a really like seriously good card, and it's going to be one of the most sought after and potentially one of the more expensive ones of the set. So it's a pretty big one. When Cloud enters, search your library for an equipment card, reveal it from your hand, then shuffle. As long as it has a clip. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Yeah, he is one of the chase cards. So yeah, one of the big kind of important cards a lot of people will be after, whether you're into Final Fantasy or not, from what I understand. Strong card, top 5 card from this set. So yeah, this is a pretty big one. So this is one where, like, if you're just purely a Final Fantasy fan, you don't care about playing this card and stuff, but you just want it because you think it's a cool card, then it's probably going to be quite hard for you to get this one, and you might have to kind of give it up. So let's keep going, because as I say, there's just so many. I'll try my best to get through them. We might have to just really speed up eventually. But for now, at least, let's just keep going at this kind of tempo. Cloudbound Moogle. So our first Moogle. There's going to be plenty of them. This is a Final Fantasy 14 Moogle here. Common card. But I mean, even stuff like this. So we got this Curl here. This is just kind of a standard common card, like a regular enemy that you encounter. This art looks really cool. And so, like, for me, it really is one of my favorite things. Like, it doesn't necessarily always have to be the most kind of important characters or the summons or whatever it might be that always get the best cards. Like, there's just some really cool looking cards that are just for straight up, like, regular stuff. So this is pretty nice. Hey, Real, good to see you. Let's keep moving. Crystal Fragments. This is nice. We've got Garnet and Ico together. Uncommon card. Yeah, I do like the artwork of this one. It's nice. So already starting to see some decent representation. I think we haven't seen Final Fantasy VIII yet from the first bunch. Who is Garnet? Sorry, I meant Elmer, of course. In this community, Garnet doesn't exist. It's only Elmer. The Crystals Chosen. Final Fantasy III. Uncommon card. Within the light, the will of the crystal surged through them, and they decided to accept their destiny. And so began a journey to dispel the darkness and return light to the world. So yeah, even the really OG Final Fantasies. Yeah, true. I will go back to that. Even the most like OG Final Fantasies are being represented here. So yeah, Senino's correct. I forgot to see this, but yes, some cards are flip cards, and if you flip it, you end up with some more stuff. You end up with a Summon Alexander. So this is a really cool touch. And some of the coolest cards, I think, are some of these flip cards. So it's really nice. So there we go. Yes, thank you for the reminder. If I forget to flip a card, let me know. So we have another Moogle. This one it's another Final Fantasy 14 Moogle. There's a lot of 14 cards. From what I understand, like 6, 7, 10, and 14 are like the 4 that have the biggest representation of the bunch. So I guess they concluded that those are probably the most popular ones. So, you know, 3 of those 4 are in my top 3 games of all time, like Final Fantasies of all time. So, I don't know. Engage and Immerse. Thank you so much. Appreciate the donation. In 14, all your player mail is at the movie. If I get any 14 cards from my little collector booster little pack thing, maybe I'll give it away. Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's pretty clear that they've done their homework and they consider those 4 Final Fantasies to be the most dominant ones, I think, of the fan base. So we've got 16 representation here. Dion, Bahamut's dominant, and this is another flip card. So it's a rare card, and it's a flip card. And on the other side, of course, you have the transformation. So for 16 especially, this makes a lot of sense. This is a really cool artwork of Bahamut. I think just obviously on a purely aesthetic, personal level, I'd like to have seen this art be bigger. Like, it's so cool, but it doesn't take up more of it. But maybe there's an alternate art for this one, and we'll get to maybe see it bigger. I don't know. I've seen a lot of cards at this stage, but I definitely not all of them, and I don't remember them too well. So another cool flip card. Dion is a sleeper card. It's powerful, but people don't know it yet. Okay, so you're getting some tips here from Sir Eccles. Dragoon Lance, more 14 here. We will see alternate arts later. Okay, cool. Dwarven Castle Guard, Final Fantasy IV. Lally Ho is a Dwarven Greeting, so that's nice. They got that in there as well. I like that. Fate of the Suncrest, Final Fantasy XII. You would have me destroy the Empire. Is this my duty? Is this what you want? Lady Ash. This is a common card as well. I think this is one of those where like it's not one of the most greatest cards, I think. Like the artwork, especially because it's going to be a small card as well. I feel like Ash is probably really small in like the artwork and stuff. So I think this is not one of the coolest cards I've seen. They're not all going to be amazing. The alt cards are on the right side under Prince. I think this page I have kind of eventually will get to all of them, I think. And then we have From Father to Son, Final Fantasy 15, of course. Nice. I mean, this is a pretty cool looking art. Yeah, the Regalia. The Regalia is definitely in a few cards. Search in your library for a vehicle card. Yeah, it's one of the best. Like, it's basically another party member in that game. Why did the dark mode vanish? Okay. Fine. Another 14 card. This one I know little to nothing about. It looks cool enough, but obviously 14 card, so I can't comment too much. I do not know why that happened. But we've lost we've lost dark mode here. Sorry for the flashbang. We'll continue. Knowing how this is, it'll probably switch back to dark mode again next time. What if I refresh it? Let me just see. Ah, there you go. If you refresh it, it works again. It's weird. Yeah, so there's a few cards in here that are kind of like... This one has a quote from Galef in there, which is cool, because I do like Galef in Final Fantasy V. That's the ticket now. Let's get moving to North Mountain. But, like, Gaia the Cat? I don't know. Common cards. So there's obviously just going to be a few in there that you're just not that interested in, I feel. Machinist Arsenal, Final Fantasy 14 again. Senino says it's okay if we skip 14. I think for 14, any players of the game that want to make a comment about the cards, you guys can, but I think in the name of time, we should probably skip the 14 cards. Magitech Armor, Final Fantasy 6, of course, that's cool. Uncommon card. Tap any number of creatures you control. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until the end of the turn. Magitech Infantry. So this is cool. Like some of these, like they literally give a bit of an explanation here. These cyber soldiers were specifically engineered to excel in combat and serve as the powerhouse of the Imperial Infantry. Final Fantasy 15 common card. Now this one looks cool. Minwu, White Mage, Final Fantasy 2. I shall remain here and devote myself to the care of the wounded. Yeah, this was cool. And as I say, I think sometimes some of the oldest cards, they tend to have like the least amount of artwork and promo images and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of scope for like cool reimaginings of these characters. I think that's nice. So a Minwu card I think looks cool. Alright, more Moogles, Final Fantasy 6. Thanks Moogles, ruin your debt. Lock. What website is this? It's called... It's like Scaryfall, but it's without the A of scary. SCRYfall.com. Let me just literally... Hold on. This is the link that I'm viewing it from. I can post things. You guys can't. We do that to avoid like spam and whatnot, but that's the website I'm using to have a look at these. So if you want to have a look at them yourselves, you can. Okay, let's continue. Paladin's Arms, Final Fantasy 14. So you're already seeing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 cards coming up here. Where is Final Fantasy 8? Final Fantasy 8 has been a little bit shunned so far, I feel. Do these... okay. We can view them like this, but I think they also just appear in this big list eventually when you scroll down far enough. Do they? Because it says 586 cards. That must include the alternates as well. Yeah, variant cards are... Okay, so we will see the alternate artworks. I won't be missing them by not showing them like this. So we have a Phoenix Down. They've chosen Final Fantasy 6. I feel like for these, obviously, they kind of had to just pick one Final Fantasy and just use one, because obviously Phoenix Down is such a staple across them. A feather with the power to revive those who have exhausted their strength. Restoration Magic, Final Fantasy 5. This one's kind of like a bit of an anonymous thing. Uncommon card. Yeah, so we got stuff like this. Side quest, Catch a Fish. I think this is really cool. I am Noctis, Prince of Lucis, and King of Fishing. Uncommon card here, but again, these are the kind of cards I just didn't expect to really see in something like this before I knew more about it. I think that's pretty dope. So yeah, we have these types of cards too. This is a transform card. Yeah, true, the music transition was lucky here. And then we have Cooking Campsite with Ignis coming up with a new recipe. So this is nice, man. Like, this is the kind of stuff that's really cool. I like it. And again, probably a card that's not going to be worth really much. It's an uncommon card, but surely it's not going to be worth that much. So if you're a massive Final Fantasy 15 fan and you really want this card, I'm sure you could probably find this for a decent price eventually, right? Maybe even now, I don't know. I mean, it does say this type of stuff. I don't know about these numbers, the 46 cents or whatever that stuff is, but needs some time to kind of settle. Side quests are all uncommon and a new type. They're just fun all around, but not that playable. So not that playable, I assume, would mean that it's probably not going to be crazy expensive. Now this is a cool looking card. Slash of Light, Final Fantasy 1. The endless struggle that raged over 2,000 years had ended, and peace prevailed once more. This just looks dope. This is just great artwork. It's really nice. 46 cents is accurate. There are sellers. Okay, that's cool. So you're already seeing then that even a card with a really cool artwork like this, it is a common card, which obviously helps. This one, it says 54 cents for people selling it. So in that sense, I think it's good news. I think for most people that are in that boat of, I just want to pick up some cool looking cards, I think if you're patient, or, you know, in general, I think you can just pick them up anyway. We are still in pre-sale prices. Anything below $5 is believable. Everything else is probably hype. So yeah, I think that's just something that scared me a little bit before I understood a little bit more about how this stuff works. There's definitely a lot of low value cards that you can pick up that still have really awesome artworks. So, okay, next up we have Snow, everybody's favorite party member for Final Fantasy 13. All I can do is go forward, keep fighting and surviving until I find the answers I need. I think the artwork's cool. Shows off his formidable punching powers. But yeah, it should have just said Sarah, just like with as many A's as possible at the end. But we don't have to buy it individually, right? There are packs. You can buy individually, and I think because there's so many cards, any pack that you buy, the chances of any given pack having what you want in there is going to be very low. Just, you know, purely mass. Even the common cards, it being in just any given pack is very low. So if there's specific cards you want, I believe the best way to do it is to buy singles instead of trying to roll the dice and keep opening packs to try and find what you want. So I think that's what I know about it so far. And there is Stiltskin. I really love this artwork of Stiltskin. I think that's really nice. And yeah, it's got one of the classic sales that he offers you. How about a 3-piece combo of High Potion, Ether, and a Phoenix Pinion for 444 gil. This one is a rare card. And I think these are alternate arts. There's a little preview of the alternate art. So I think if you buy the regular one, it's incredibly cheap. But if you want like a fancy, like really cool alternate art version of it, then this is kind of hype price, but you can kind of see difference. But Stiltskin is a really cool card. Like this is it's a nice one. I like this. Okay, and we have the Summon Choco Mog card. I think this one's pretty cool as well. They've got more of the rebirth kind of version here. Common card. Now this one I really do like as well. I think this one looks dope. Summon Knights of the Round. So this is like a proper serious card here. I think the artwork looks dope. And Ultimate End here. And it just says like this indestructible at the bottom, like that also is pretty badass. Obviously you would assume it means the card can't be destroyed, but like in general that's badass. Sometimes variant arts can go for 50 times the price of the regular, but the regular card is still just 40 cents. That's cool. So yeah, this card is pretty dope. Waiting on Ixion, but we've still got a lot of cards to get through, so it's all good. There's definitely an Ixion. Let's keep moving. Summon Primal Garuda. This Final Fantasy 14's Garuda here. Uncommon card. Let's keep it moving. We've got another Ultima, this one again from Final Fantasy 14. Where is Final Fantasy 8? What's going on? Unacceptable. That card is great. Is it this Ultima card? Next we got this one, another 14. Is that? That's 3 14 cards in a row. Sheesh. So another one. And then you've got, again, a bit more kind of generic cards like this one, like Weapons Vendor, where I don't think they're going to be of much interest to most people. I think like the kind of fan / collector side of it, I don't think you're going to care too much about these. Gameplay wise, obviously I have no idea. But so like gameplay wise, why don't I just ask the chat? I missed the transform. Ah yeah, this one has a, because the 14 card I kind of skipped over, but that's a cool artwork, I have to say. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's a cool looking card. So yeah, this one, like from a gameplay perspective, is this guy really that valuable? Like, is there any use to him? I feel like this is the kind of card that basically gets discarded by everyone, but there you go. Since I don't know the game, Weapons Vendor is quite powerful in TG-wise. That's good to know. So at least it has some value for some people. Weapons Vendor is very good. There you go. Okay. Shows what I know, but I've already said I know nothing anyway. Okay, White Aura Sight, Final Fantasy 14, like the 14 bombardment continues here. It's a nice artwork, I have to say. Almost like Witcher-esque hair there. Ah, the poll completed. Okay. Let's keep moving. White Mage's Staff from Final Fantasy 1. Common card here. But like the outfits of the designs of Final Fantasy 1, like the OG White Mage outfit and stuff, is just so iconic. And again, the artists just have a lot of license to do cool stuff with these really old ones. You need cards that can help you get your best cards sometimes. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Okay, let's keep it moving. Now we have the Wind Crystal. So there's a bunch of different crystal types as well. I think some of them are quite good, like important. Final Fantasy 3. I give unto you the last of my light, and with it the last hope of the fading world. It's a rare card, legendary artifact. Now, this is a pretty cool card, and the good thing here is it's a common card, so you're not alone. Final Fantasy 9. You've always protected us, but you still don't understand that we looked out for you too. Elmer. So yeah, common card. This means that it should be relatively cheap, I imagine. So that's pretty nice. If you're a Final Fantasy 9 fan and you really want a card like this, I would imagine it shouldn't be that hard to get. So cool artwork here, like the like Queen Steiner and then the monsters in the background and stuff. I think this is a pretty nice composition. It's nice. There are no cards for spin-offs such as 10-2. Good question. I don't think there's 10-2. Okay, Zack makes an appearance at last. There we go. Uncommon card. Sacrifice Zack Fair. So he's got like a sacrifice type of mechanic, and again, that obviously plays in well with his role in the game that he appears in. So in general, you can definitely see that there's connections there. You know, obviously, I think some of them are more just they need a certain mechanic, and they try to basically match it up as best they can with a certain Final Fantasy character or thing. But I think some of them you can really tell they've tried to make a much more specific effort to make it make sense. You know. Let's keep moving. It's a cool artwork as well. Final Fantasy 14. But it does look cool. And then next up we have Cargo Ship from Final Fantasy 9. So Final Fantasy 9 getting some decent representation. But where is Final Fantasy 8? Yeah, this card is great. I saw this one, it got sent to me. This is brilliant. So you can see Tidus with his Brotherhood sword stuck inside the water flam from Besaid. And it's got the quote there, "Clueless, aren't you? Good thing I'm here," from Lulu. So this kind of stuff is great. And once again, this is a common card, and it seems to me like it's probably not going to be particularly expensive to get. So when I see cards like this, I'm just like, okay, this is really cool. Like, it seems like they kind of didn't need to make this card, but they thought that this would be a good little kind of thing to include from the game. So I love that. Now, I will say, Real saying Tyus' face is scary. Tyus' face looks a little off here. Like, I don't know. But overall, I still have to say it's a cool card. So yeah, I do like this one. Okay, let's keep going. Dragoons, Wyvern, Final Fantasy 11. So if there's any 11 players here, hopefully you'll be happy to see this guy. I don't know much about him, but there you go. There's no tactics, but there is definitely Final Fantasy 8. There's some really cool looking Final Fantasy 8 cards. We just haven't run into them yet. Aha! Speaking of, here is our first I think, Final Fantasy 8 card, Dreams of Laguna. Really nice one there with Kyros and Ward. Surveil 1, then draw a card, flashback. So of course a flashback there for the Laguna stuff. Don't go back on your word, come on, go wave to her. So cool stuff, common card as well. So I think finally getting some Final Fantasy 8 representation there. This is cool. Flashback on this card is such a flavor win. Okay, let's keep it moving. We've got Edgar, King of Figaro next. Final Fantasy 6, of course. Two-headed coin, that's cool. Saving, let's settle this with the toss of a coin. Again, cool looking artwork, I have to say. It's a rare card, actually. Not even an uncommon, it's rare level. Is this one a good card? And of course, Edgar cheats on the coin toss, even imagine. Is this like a good gameplay card? It's gimmicky. Okay. Yeah, especially if it's rare as well. Good, but no flavor win. Okay. It's pretty niche. Fair play. Next we got Eject. Now, this card needed to be Auron doing a shooting star, like mid-animation for Eject. I'm sorry, it just had to be. Like a sandworm on the other side, and just Auron shooting starring it in the face. Like that would have been the card, I think. That's literally what I would have done. This one, I'm kind of just like, yeah, I don't know why they used this. Does Aerith get ejected by the Zolom? Like, I don't know. Did that happen in Rebirth? I don't even remember. Is that a Rebirth reference? I forgot exactly how the fight played out in Rebirth with the Zolom. But if it were me, obviously I'm heavily biased, but I think for Eject I would have rather used that. It's an OG reference. Fair play. But be that as it may, I think an opportunity was missed here. Anyway, let's continue. We have Ether. They've chosen Final Fantasy 7 for this one. The Zolom can eject your party members. Okay, fine. Fair play. I don't even remember that mechanic, honestly. I remember it had one big attack that was like really dangerous, but other than I don't remember the ejecting part of it. It kicks you out based on the first one to hit it after certain HP threshold range. Okay, fair play. So it's mechanically sound, so to give it credit, it is mechanically sound. But still, Auron Shooting Star, that's what it should have been. Beta, that's it. I was thinking of Aqualung, but it's not Aqualung. The Auron card itself has a Shooting Star tech/mechanic, I believe. I think it does, yeah. We'll get to it soon, hopefully. Now, this card is interesting. I saw this one. So this is Go-Go from Final Fantasy VI, the Mimic, the Master of Mimicry. This is like an optional party member from Final Fantasy VI, but it's a mythic card. And it got, like, he's got some seriously cool artwork. So this one's already really dope. And he's got another card or two. And he's like one of the few mythic cards that they have in this whole set. And I was kind of surprised a little bit that Go-Go got this level of love. And it seems to be one of the more expensive cards. So Annabelle says Go-Go is a mythic because the effect is quite unique. And it's more likely they designed a card and only Go-Go would have fit the card. So that's where I would have assumed, like, that's how I assumed it would have fit. But makes sense for sure. So apparently a powerful card, and it's going to be sought after. And you can already see some of the prices here. Does reflect that. So fair play. But yeah, Go-Go is one of the more important cards, I guess, of this set. Then we have the Ice Flan from Final Fantasy X. Interesting. Island Cycling. Search your library for an island card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Fair enough. It's a common card. Not too much to say about it. But obviously anytime I see Final Fantasy X representation, I'm happy. And then we have another ice magic. So we've got ice flan, and then we've got ice magic. So for the ice stuff, they've chosen Final Fantasy X twice. And this time we have Lulu casting some ice magic here with her Moogle. She kind of looks like she's already in an icy environment and she's conjuring up ice magic. It's like, stuff there is probably more likely to be resistant to ice, but I don't know. But still, cool looking card. Commons just need to do their job. The cycling ability makes you discard them for loot instead of dropping them and having them fight. Zero encounter style. Okay. Let's keep moving. Another Final Fantasy 14 card here. Meg Pixie. Aha. Jill, Shiva's Dominant. This one, I immediately start to look at these numbers and I assume obviously it's a good card when I start to see some actual numbers coming up. But I guess these are some of the alternate art versions that are more expensive. So this is another transform card. This artwork alone does look really cool for Jill. I like this one. I'm going to help you to give you what you need to protect us all. Let's transform the card. And of course we get the Shiva card on the back. So yeah, these kind of transform cards just inherently, they're really nice effect, I think. Makes her look more useful than she was in the game. Oh boy. I tend to agree with you. Final Fantasy 16 dominants have probably the strongest summons on the back, but they're extremely expensive to transform. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it does take a lot to transform, I guess, but that's cool. Okay, let's keep moving. Another 14 card that I know nothing about. I'll leave it up for a few seconds just in case anyone wants to see it and make any comment on it, but I will move it along. Now, this artwork of the Lunar Whale I'd seen as well. I thought this looked really cool. Actually, I do like this one. It's a rare card. But definitely nice artwork. I do like this one. Okay, another page done. Sadly, it's not that great. Baby Sin, yes. Thank you, Real. Can't be me saying it every time. Now, this card here, actually, I think this artwork is awesome. I saw this one as well. It's a common card, but we have some Final Fantasy 13 representation now with Fang. This just looks super cool. I really like this artwork. I think it's nice. Fang's basically my favorite character from 13 anyway, and this artwork I think does a lot of justice. So this looks really cool. And again, it seems because it's a common card, like already we're seeing here like 42 cents. Oh yeah, we did have Snow. Yeah, so it's the second card. But we haven't had many. It's been card 61 already. And we haven't had much 13. So this is cool. You're going to wish you hadn't. Very Fang quote. But yeah, this is cool. I really like this one. Matoya. Okay, I remember that name from one of the early Final Fantasies, but it's in 14 as well apparently. It's a 14 card. Aha, a Final Fantasy 8 card. Memories Returning. So this is cool. It shows them in the Orphanage, Selfie, and Squall. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library, then put one of them into your hand, then choose an opponent. They put one at the bottom of your library. Then you put... That's a lot of instructions. But there you go. It's a rare card, but I think it refers to like a cool part of the story. This card has the funniest text of any card. Yeah, this one has an alternate artwork that I think is really nice. We should get to that later. TLDR of the card. I pick a card, you pick a card. We do this loop until we found all the memories. Okay, fair play. Just Real being a hater, as usual. The Prima Vista, Final Fantasy 9. Cool. Yeah, this is a nice like artwork / representation. Let's keep it moving. Final Fantasy 11. So you can definitely see it's quite skewed towards certain games in the series so far, but at least every game is getting some level of representation. I think by the time we run through all of the cards, there should hopefully be enough to satisfy most fans of most games. There we go, some more Final Fantasy 8. Now this is a cool looking card. Quistis. Uncommon card. Legendary creature, human wizard, blue magic, of course. And it's not like everyone can get by on their own, you know. So this is a nice one. I like this. So definitely starting to see a bit more Final Fantasy VIII creeping in now. Cool card. Nice, but no whip. Good point. But I do think like the blue card, blue magic, just the general like design composition, I think it looks cool. Now this card I really like as well. Like I feel like Realm's ability in Final Fantasy VI is already just like really cool, and having more of these artistic representations of the OG characters is just something that's one of my favorite aspects of the art so far. So Realm sketching. In her pictures, she captures everything. Forest, water, light, the very essence of the things she paints. So this is cool. I like this. Nice illustration here. Next up, retrieve the Esper, Final Fantasy VI again. As I say, it's one of the more prioritized games of the entire set. Let's keep moving. Rook turret, Final Fantasy XIV. It's quite a unique effect too. Realm is one of the very few effects that can copy lands. A strong uncommon. Interesting. Did I miss Bahamut? Bahamut was literally like the first one, but we'll see some alternate artworks of Bahamut too. One of my favorite cards that I've seen so far is an alternate Bahamut. So there's definitely some more to come. There's plenty to get through, so we got time. We've got another couple of hours or so. Okay, more 14. Sahagin. I mean, again, like for a Sahagin card, it's a common card. Is Sahagin just like a more common enemy or like a minor boss, or is it a big deal in this 14 wherever it appears? Like this goes hard for like quote unquote just a Sahagin. Like this is dope. This looks cool. But maybe it plays a more significant role in 14. Obviously, I don't know. But this is cool. There's going to be some stuff that's just like, it seems like relatively minor kind of enemies or bosses, but the art just goes hard. Here's one of the major Beast Tribe enemies in the first expansion. Yeah, whatever the case may be for a common card and all that stuff, I think it just looks cool. I really like it. Scorpion Sentinel, Final Fantasy VII. Barry, be careful, attack while his tail's up. It's going to counter attack with his laser. Yeah, we've all been there. But this looks cool too. Let's keep it going. Side quest card collection. Final Fantasy XIV again. Let's keep it going. This one is adorable. Final Fantasy IX, Sleep Magic. That is adorable. I love like the art palette and like the moonlight, the purple, dark blue tones. It looks really cool. There's a transform. I missed one. Yeah, the 14 ones I might miss the transform. Just let me know again, like Francisco did, if I miss it, just so you can see it. Card collection, and then transforms into this artifact vehicle flying thing. The face looks a bit off. Nah, not this one. I disagree on this one. The Tidus combat tutorial, I think his face looks a bit off. And one card that we're going to see later on, I think Tidus' face again looks a bit weird, but I think this one is pretty cute. And I think, again, we're seeing the cards a little bit blown up here. It's going to look smaller, like in your hand kind of thing. I think it's really cool. Let's keep going. Stolen Uniform, Final Fantasy VI. It's a little tight, but the price was right. Uncommon card. So the Final Fantasy X cards also have the unit cards are all fantastic, but one or two of the Tidus cards have been a little bit sus. Now, speaking of Final Fantasy X, there hasn't been one of them for a little while, but it is back with a pretty unique art style, stuck in the Summoner's Sanctum. So we've got Isaru and Donna, of course, here. Now, my biggest problem here is, where is Bartello? He should be there, no? Wasn't he in this Summoner's Sanctum thing? Where is he? This one's a bit too weeaboo for me. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough, but at least they're kind of mixing it up with some different styles in there as well. He wasn't in the Sanctum? Fine. Where the hell was he? I still like, because you've got like Marauder and Passe there and you're trying to represent like Donna and stuff, I wish like, I don't think Bartello appears in any cards, does he? No, he's not in the Summoner Sanctum. That's a shame then. Basically, he gets no representation in the entire set. He's still searching the Makalani Woods. That's a good point, yes. Yeah, I'm just sad. Like, I just still, when I see this card, I'm just like, I want to see Bartello still in some way. But you guys are right. He was searching for her. Thank you, James, for the gifted memberships. He's just running around in Makalania screaming, Donna! But cool card. I think it's a nice one. Let's keep going. It's a common one as well. Should be easy to get if anyone particularly likes the art style. No, Sir Orin. And we have a Leviathan from Final Fantasy 15. Pretty epic boss fight here. I think it hasn't. Yeah, it has an alternate art as well. Thank you, James. Appreciate it. Yeah, so for these summon cards, as I say, like just from purely my own perspective, like I think the alternate ones. So I'll give you a little preview here of what the alternate ones can look like. So when I just see the regular card, I'm like, yeah, the artwork's cool, but it takes up too small of the thing. Obviously, it's more kind of functional, I guess. And then they have the alternate art where they really show off the art. So yeah, I really like this one. Like this looks really nice. We'll get to see it properly a little bit later, but that's a little preview for you guys. And yes, we have Final Fantasy X's Shiva right before the finger snap of Diamond Dust. Nice. I think it's a good moment to choose, and it's a really nice depiction as well of Final Fantasy X Shiva. The best Shiva of all the Shivas. Yes, Sarah, you're correct. And so are you, Zanokana. Now, yeah, I've heard this one's a pretty good card as well. Great finisher card for certain decks. She does look cool. The whole, like, the quote here, though, is kind of interesting. Let us summon a sea in a new dream world. Like, they put in a quote, but obviously Shiva doesn't speak. So, is this... that's what I was thinking, because Shiva herself doesn't speak, but is it what Shiva's faith says? It's been so long since I revisited the temples. I don't really remember the lines when you revisit them and you get to speak to the faith. If anyone could confirm, that would be a really nice detail. Because I remember when I first saw this card, I was like, there's a quote there, but if it is, that's really nice. Good research from the card makers. Is that what it says when you go to Siren Temple? I've never heard that quote. Yeah, so I think if that is, then again, got to give them props for that. That's pretty niche, like to know that they wanted a quote and then they picked one up from when you revisit the temple. That's a completely optional interaction. To pick up that quote, I think that's pretty nice. I like that. Thank you, Nick. Let's keep it moving, but that's cool. No one visits temples after they're too beat up. It's been a long time since I revisited them, I got to say. Okay, Swallowed by Leviathan, Final Fantasy 2. Wow, okay, this was a cool part of the game. Rumor has it that the lead designer for the set started working on this just as 16 came out. And the company brought 16 for its designer, so they would play in time to design the cards. It is a quote. Yeah, so that's dope. So, got to give props to this one. The quote is legit. And that's what I mean. I haven't really found much where they've got anything wrong. Even a few times where I've been a bit skeptical, like Bartello in the Sanctum, like this one here with the quote. Basically, if they haven't seemed to have made really any mistakes. The eject one for Aerith and the Midgard Zolom, they've got everything right so far from what I've seen. There is one definite mistake that we're going to see a little bit later, like 100% mistake that I'm amazed kind of got through. But so far, at least, they've been very accurate from what I can see. Considering how many cards there are and how many games they've covered. Should be the dreaming end, you two will disappear. Fade into Spirit Sea, Spirit Sky, but do not weep nor rise in anger. Even we were once human. That is why we must dream. Let us summon a sea in the new dream world. Man, there's some nice words. I need to revisit the temples. In the auto haste mod, we're revisiting the temples. It's been too long. Mistakes can be worth more. Possibly. So, look, this artwork for Seymour is cool. We don't have a lot of love for Seymour, but the quote, the way he delivers this line, I've always been a big fan of this one. Your eyes, they burn with resolve. Beautiful. And I think the card looks sick, I have to say. I think it's really cool. But do I want it? Not really, but still, I think it's cool. But I think the quote is close enough for Shiva that I think we got to let him have that. Alright, let's keep going. Next page. And for some reason it's gone again. Let's try this. Yeah, okay. Now, Thief's Knife. Final Fantasy 1. Uncommon card. Travel the Overworld. This is cool. We've got Bart's Final Fantasy 5. My dad always wanted me to go out and travel the world, but it also feels like the wind is calling to me. So Final Fantasy 5 hasn't had too many cards, but it's nice to see this one here. Uncommon card here. But regardless, it doesn't seem to be worth that much at the moment, and probably won't increase in price. So if anyone wants some Final Fantasy 5 stuff, you can get it there. And we have Uncle Ulti. Now, this is one card I have to admit that I wish it had a quote. Because Uncle Ulti has so many fun moments and quotes. I was kind of a little bit sad that there wasn't anything for him, quote-wise. So it's a bit of a shame for me. But there we have it. No space for quotes. Yeah, I'm just like, well, then I wish there was some... There had to have been some way to work something in. But Obnoxious Octopus is a great title, indeed. So yeah, we do have, of course, an Ultros card. They probably couldn't choose one without backlash for not choosing another. I'd still prefer that to not having anything at all. I just feel like so much of his great moments are defined by some of his quotes and stuff that I would have liked to have seen it. But that's just me. But still, obviously great to see Uncle Ulti, and I think it's a cool artwork. Let's keep going. Most expensive card so far. Probably the Cloud that we saw. Like the mercenary Cloud thing. I think that's probably one of the most, like on paper at least. Valkyrie Aerial Unit, Final Fantasy VII's Valkyrie here. Uncommon. I think we can move this one along. We've had the Wind Crystal, now we've got the Water Crystal. No, this is a great track. Is this 15, right? I like this track. So yeah, the Water Crystal. These, I assume they must be, like, they have some alternate art ones as well, so I'll show you a little preview here. Are these, like, particularly good cards? This one's worth 24, and even this kind of quote-unquote basic one is 340, which is a lot more expensive than a lot of stuff we've seen. So is this a good gameplay card? Is that why they have a bit of value to them? What's the deal with these? I feel like they're a little bit expensive compared to some of the others, but not really. Fair enough. Because it's pretty. But no, I mean, like, even this one here, like, there's been plenty of really cool looking artworks. They've been like 50 cents. Even this one's 340. It's like 5 times more expensive. 6 times than some of the stuff that we've seen that I think also has cool artwork that's a specific character or something. So, I don't know. Water Crystal is an extremely niche strat, but it's one of the most popular so-called milling, so it's a fan favorite strat. Yeah, so I think there must be something to it. I think that's probably why. It's not just, like, artwork. But this one is a really cool art, I have to say. Like, some of the alternate arts are really beautiful. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14. This is a mythic card, and you're seeing like some heat here in terms of the cost. This is a name I've definitely seen a few times. It's, I guess, some kind of prominent name in Final Fantasy 14. If it got a mythic card, then clearly. But I'm going to move it along. If anyone has any comments about it, of course, they can can share. The Lulu of 14. Ah. Okay, well that's a good sign. Then it makes sense. Area Moon. Cool artwork for it. Final Fantasy 3. The Wrath of Dark has nearly reached its zenith. No one can stop it, least of all you. Common card. Hey E-Zombie, appreciate that. Glad you've been enjoying it. Waifu tax is real. Let's keep it going. This is nice. Our Bed Salvages. We found the airships. The records were right. So this is cool. Like it's obviously right at the start of the game. I like that. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, the target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. But again, these are kind of aspects that I just never thought I'd see a card for. Like I just never imagined there would be enough cards and enough representation for like Albed Savages to have a card. The quote is not in Albed. Good point. They probably should have made it Albed. I agree. That's one thing that would have been nice. Ah, yes. Arden. Final Fantasy 15, of course. Rare card. And there's a few alternate arts for Arden that we'll probably see later on. Those ones look like they cost a little more. And he does have something called Star Scourge, which is cool. At the beginning of combat, you turn exile up to 1 target creature card from a graveyard. But yeah, definitely cool looking card. Arden is a great character. Once you've played, especially I think like the DLC and stuff, it's great. Let's keep it going. Still have a lot of cards to get through, but we got time. Black Mage's Rod, Final Fantasy 1. Another cool depiction of the iconic early Final Fantasy Black Mage look. We're 1/3 of the way in the main set, yep. But yeah, Black Mage's Rod looks cool too. Now this one is a pretty cool artwork as well. So we've got Cecil, the Dark Knight, of course, of Final Fantasy 4. I suppose this is my fate as a Dark Knight. Soon I won't even feel remorse for my actions. Now, of course, these guys so far, I think they've already proven that they're too good to not have a card like this one where you transform it, you flip the card, and of course you have the Redeemed Paladin on the other side. This is my battle, one I must fight alone to atone for my wrong. So this is a great card. Like I can see this one being sought after by Final Fantasy 4 fans and players alike. He's one of the chase rares too. He's really strong if you get to flip him. Cool. I can imagine that. But yeah, this is a cool card. And he does have some alternates that we'll see as well. Cool stuff. Nice card. Circle of Power, Final Fantasy 14. Gonna keep moving from that one, but again I'll leave it up for a few seconds. Cornered by Black Mages. This artwork was cool. Final Fantasy 9. Kuja called them Black Mages, Dark Spawn of the Mist, the Soul Cage. Common card. But it does look cool. Yeah, the music did switch to 9 as well. Good timing. Yes, James, good job. Let's keep going. Dark Confidant. Final Fantasy 14 once again. Woof. What are all these alternate thingies? What is this? Is this like other things that have like the same? Yeah, okay. It must be. Yeah, so what's the deal with this? The Annabelle, these situations. This is basically a card where they've kind of... It's a pre-existing Magic the Gathering card, but they've kind of Final Fantasied it. And I guess depending on which version you end up with from like different expansions or packs or whatever you call them, they change in value. Yeah, it will be a VOD. I think for this one I'm not going to do any like splitting, upload it later. We'll just keep it as it is now as one stream. It was already a card, but they gave it the Final Fantasy art. Very common with these kind of sets. Cool. Okay, let's keep going. Dark Knight's Greatsword. Final Fantasy 14 once again. So you're seeing 14 might just be the most represented one. See you later, Francisco. Take care. The Darkness Crystal, Final Fantasy 3. Let's keep going. Yeah, obviously for me, in many cases, it's going to be hard to tell like which card is an existing one and which one's obviously new. Like they've created new stuff for it. But Demon Wall, again, Final Fantasy 14. Pretty cool art. Darkness Crystal is probably the strongest crystal. Interesting. Let's have a little preview of the alternate artwork. Cool. Hey Jiminian, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Now we've got Evil Reawakened, Final Fantasy 5. Galuf, it is good to see you again. Oh boy. Yeah. Rest in peace, Galuf. Yeah, it really is those full art cards, man. They're next level. Okay, so now we have another Fang card. Now this is the second time we've seen Fang represented, but she has some really cool looking cards, I have to say. So this card is pretty nice. If I don't figure out our focus soon, Vanille's going to be a Seath. I'll tear down the sky if it'll save her. So really nice artwork here once again. And this is another transform card. You can see the back. And why does it do it like that? I think, yeah, okay. Wait, on the next one you can actually see what the back is. So the back is this. So this is super cool. So this card flips over to become this card. Of course, they combine to form Ragnarok. When prayers turn to promises, not even fate can stand in their way. So this is a really nice combo, I have to say. This is a meld pair. It requires 2 cards to actually transform, and then Vanille and Fang are the only meld pair of the set. Double face card. It's a double face, but you need both halves. I see. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, so really nice mechanics there. Nice. Let's keep going. And we make it to card number 100. Fight On. Common card. But again, even some of these like more common cards, they still have really cool artworks. I wish I knew something about MTG, then again I'll save money by not buying anything, definitely. Yeah, from what I can tell, you just have to be patient. Just take your time and see what happens to the prices eventually. The Final Days, Final Fantasy 14. Keep going. Gaius, Final Fantasy 14 again. He looks like a judge to me. Final Days is a major story moment. Yeah, so 14 players obviously, they know what's up with that. And then we've got Gaius. And then we've got Hecht Eyes for Final Fantasy 2. Once the monsters of hell poured forth into the world, they entered using a path known as the Fate Passage. Hilda, Princess of Finn. Looked like Dancing Lion from Elden Ring. That's it. Yeah, you're right, Roll. 100% did. And yes, we got jacked. Well, well, trying to follow my footsteps, are you? So this is another transform card. And if you transform this guy, it turns into, of course, Brass's Fine Leon. And it just says at the bottom, it just says Menace. But cool card. I think the art style, personally, is not for me. Like this one, I think looks cool. Even like the U Pagoda and stuff on his side, that's dope. But this one, it's cool. But something about it, like it just doesn't vibe with me. Like Jecht has some other cool stuff. But it is a cool card overall. It's nice. Menace means you also need 2 or more blockers. He seems too boy bandy though. But yeah, if you also see here, one of his moves is Jecht Beam and the other is Ultimate Jecht Shot. Each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice. In the Final Fantasy X Masters mod, it would be Triumphant Grasp, where you sacrifice where one of your characters gets ejected. But there's definitely a few more Brass's Fine Leon cards. There's some more for that, so we'll get to that in a bit. But this is cool. Let's go. Got Kane. Cool artwork for him. Final Fantasy IV's Kane, of course. Traitorous Dragoon. And a Malboro makes an appearance. They use Final Fantasy XV's Malboro for this one. Of course, has a bad breath move. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life, and exiles the top 3 cards of their library. And then something called Swamp Cycling. Interesting. It's called Plant Horror. But I think it's a pretty cool artwork. I like this one. Malboro's annoying even in MTG. Okay, let's keep it going. There's some works going on, like next door or like downstairs or something. I don't know if you guys can hear any drilling. If you can, it's from my neighbors. Final Fantasy 14 once again. Namazu Trader. A Fish Citizen. Ninja's Blades, Final Fantasy 14. Cool looking artwork here. Kane switches control from your side to your opponent's and then back to yours again and again. That tracks. Okay, Ninja Blades, let's move it on. Aha! Overkill here. Target creature gets -0, -+9 until end of turn. Hey, why don't you try out that sword I gave you? So, obviously this is in Kilika. What is the deal with this card? MTG players, how does this actually work? I'm curious, like, how does it actually... It kills a creature bypassing indestructible. Takes away all defense. Doesn't that mean it's like a really OP, like, good card? That would mean that it says it costs 61 cents. But I guess it's still uncommon too. Would this not be like a sought after card? But it's not like you need it. Yeah, me, like, simple brain being like, hey, if it kills everything, surely it's a good card, no? It's not that good, fair enough. Face insta-kill on basically everything. It's expensive. Okay, fair play. Okay, cool. But yeah, interesting way to kind of represent overkill, I guess. But nice. And yeah, this is really dope. Final Fantasy VI is Phantom Train, and for anybody wondering, is there a suplex? Yes, there is. We will get to a suplex. I've seen one. We'll get to it. So this is cool though. I do like the artwork of this one. It's really nice. If it was a rare card, it would cost 2 mana and it would be 100+ bucks. Damn, okay. Phantom Train has no crew ability. Nice. Yeah, a lot of nice touches. And finally, we see Kefka for the first time. Now, there are a lot of Kefka cards. It took a while for the first one to be uncovered, but there's a lot of Kefka. You're going to be seeing a lot of it as we continue on. Nothing beats the sweet music of hundreds of voices screaming in unison. Wee-hee-hee. Yeah, like, I think I haven't seen a Kefka artwork that I didn't think was really cool. Most of them just look dope. Uncommon card. So if you really want some kind of Kefka card, I feel like this is probably one of the cheaper, easier ones to get. But there's some really, like, there's some serious heat when it comes to Kefka cards, from what I've seen. Including one that's like one of my absolute top cards that I would want to have if I could, but probably won't. So let's keep it moving. Okay, this thing, Final Fantasy 11. Be cool art. But obviously know nothing about it. Aha, a Reno and Rude card. Now this is cool. Obviously these two, they've got to appear together. The bros. Whenever Reno and Rude deals combat damage to the player, they exile the top card of the player's library. blah, blah. Sometimes I read these moves just to see if I can spot anything that intuitively feels like it matches well with their gameplay and like their story kind of thing. Yeah, we're going to get to that card. But this is, I think, again, like a cool artwork, and it's nice to see them together. And yes, one of many, many Sephiroths that we will be seeing. This is one of the much easier ones to obtain. I mean, it's not, I guess it's not specifically a Sephiroth card, but you get the idea. The Genova project resulted in my conception. Resentful revelation. Okay, let's keep going. So, okay, yeah. Now we get to the real Sephiroth card. This is one of the ones that's like, this is a proper serious card here. So if you really want this card, for whatever reason it might be, whether you're a player, collector, or both, I think this is one of those cards you're going to struggle to obtain for reasonable prices. So yeah, this is like, it looks really cool. And it is a transform card, and I guess everyone in this chat already knows what's going to happen when I press transform, but let's see it. Sephiroth, one-winged angel. That is sick. So really, really nice card. Obviously has the supernova move on the back. Like, yeah, this is an awesome card. Yeah, but I think many of you are never going to have this card, myself included. So yeah, good luck with this one. I think in general, if anybody ever ends up picking up any like super rare, like really special cards, definitely like send it my way. Like drop me a DM on Instagram or something, or tag me on Twitter or whatever it might be. I'm curious to see like how many in this community is anyone going to end up with some stuff that's seriously special. I'd like to know. I'm collecting the entire set, so I will just hope to open it. When you say the entire set, are you literally talking about basically everything? Like, are you really saying the entire thing, like all 600, all the alternate artworks, everything? That's an insane undertaking. Good luck. One version of every card. Okay, that makes much more sense. So, yep, more Sephiroth. We have Sephiroth's Intervention here, common card. So again, if you just want some kind of Sephiroth card, and you don't really care what it is, it's just more like for having some Sephiroth stuff in general, I guess these kind of cards you can pick up. Fate is not to be taken lightly, Cloud. I'm just buying singles, that makes sense. Shambling Seath, Final Fantasy 13. It's nice that they've given an explanation here, probably better than how the game did it. Seath are deemed to wander the world, unliving and undying, until their corrupted flesh can at last move no more. Let's keep going. Shinra reinforcements. End of the line punk. Like, these are the types of cards where yes, it's Final Fantasy 7 and stuff, but if I got this card, it's kind of a nothing card for me. So these are probably going to be relatively easy to find. Let's keep going. This one's quite nice. Side quest, Hunt the Mark. So this is obviously the Final Fantasy 12 hunts being represented here. So this is quite nice. And it does have a transform, actually. So let's do that. If you transform this one, then you end up with the ultimate mark. So this is really cool. Legend says it is an anima, guardian to a sacred blade. Though most sacred amongst its kind, its great power drove it to madness, and in the end it became a threat to its own creator. So I think this is a nice card. It just kind of seems quite almost innocuous, and then you've got like the badass Yasmat on the back. Like, that's dope. Really, really nice. So these are kind of cards that I also really like. Yeah, the transform stuff is some of the best, like just from a purely visual kind of standpoint. They're really nice. Let's keep going. Aha! Here we go. The anima card. I was wondering, when I started realizing how big this set was, I was thinking, like, are they going to have dark Aeons? Because I started to see so much stuff. I was just like, maybe they got dark versions of the Aeons as well? I'm like, So they don't have dark Aeons, but at least they have basically normal versions of the Aeons. So, yeah, this is an anima card. There is an alternate art for this as well, which we will see later. But yes, of course, we have an anima card, and we've got Pain. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. And then you've got Oblivion. Each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice and loses 3 life. Cool. So yes, we got some anima representation. Cool looking art. But as you might imagine, like there is an alternate, and it's much more, kind of covers more of the card, and looks really cool. Instagram I check more often. I don't go on Twitter as much, honestly. If anyone wants to DM me on there, they're welcome to. Just be sensible. Or you will be ignored. Okay, Primal Odin is next. Final Fantasy XIV's Odin here. And of course has a lot of the hallmarks that we would expect from Odin. And again, anytime you see a summon, it seems to be like most summon / espers have alternate arts, which makes a lot of sense here. The normal versions seem pretty easy to obtain if you're okay with having them, but if you want the special like alternate art version, obviously that's when it's going to get more problematic. For your wallet. Tomberry, there we go, Final Fantasy V. Fearful monsters that creep ever forward, knives poised with deadly intent, and of course Chef's Knife present as well. During your turn, this creature has First Strike and Death Touch. Damn, Final Fantasy XII's rats at the start of the game getting representation here. I finally worked out how to get the door on the left side open. I hope there's something in there besides rats. So, interesting card here, but there you go, it is there. Could this card be useful to anyone? It's not the prettiest looking card in the set either. Don't know who would want this card. Let's keep going. Vane's Treachery. There is a format played entirely with commons. Okay. Interesting. Well, people who only play with rats. Okay, fair enough. So Vane's Treachery here. Another Final Fantasy XII one here, common card. I'm not like the hugest fan of the artwork for this one, personally, but it's there if you're a fan of Vane. Now, here is a cool card. Vincent Valentine. This is one of my favorite arts that I've seen. This looks so nice, like the red and the blue sky, like the dark blue sky, the stormy skies. This looks super cool. This is badass. I think this one is, again, this is like the most basic version of the card, I think, and it says $2.62, like $2.62. I think that's it doesn't seem that expensive to me, you know, for a card that looks this cool. Obviously, you're going to have more alternate versions that are going to run you much higher numbers, as you can see, but even this card for like $2.50, it's like, come on, like that doesn't seem too bad if you're mostly in it to just have a cool looking card. But that's nice. And of course, we have a transform because it's Vincent, and on the back we have the Galian Beast. This body is the punishment that's been given to me. So once again, another transform card ends up being one of the coolest. So really nice. This one, I think it looks a bit almost too much like a behemoth. I guess it is. I guess the beast does look a bit like a mini behemoth, but it's still a really like super cool card. One of the coolest ones so far, I think. Yeah, we're going to scroll to them. For some of them, I'm kind of showing previews, but mostly I kind of just want to keep scrolling. And we'll see all of the alternate art stuff later as well. So here's another one, Vincent's Limit Break. So more Vincent representation. This one's also cool, but definitely like not in the same league as this one. I think this one's just next level. But yeah, this one, another one for Vincent fans. Galian Beast, Death Gigas, and Hellmasker. Let's go. Final Fantasy XIV card. It's another transform card. I will show this. Damn, that looks cool. Shinryu Transcendent Rival. Oh, interesting. Shinryu, huh? There we go. Kind of strange how few Final Fantasy VIII cards there have been so far. I agree. That's been a bit of a shame. Hey Hoffenheim, welcome to stream, by the way. Yeah, sorry. I'm transforming every card I see. If something ends up being a spoiler by transforming, I do apologize, but it's kind of the point. We're trying to show off all the cards here. What's all the fuss about those cards? We are finding out. That's literally what we are finding out right now. There's some very cool looking cards that we've seen. Zodiac. Now, I thought this card looked really cool. There's an alternate art version of this, which was one of my favorites in terms of just purely how it looks. Obviously, I know little about the about it. I know Zodiac from 12, obviously, but not 14s. But this looks pretty badass. Even this one. Legendary creature, God. So that probably is a bit of a clue. But we'll see some more variations later. And we have Big Boy Barrett making his appearance. You're going to stand there and pretend you can't hear the planet crying out in pain. My guy. Seems like $1 to get the normal one. So if you're after kind of just like you want each of like the main cast members or something like that, you don't mind having basic versions, doesn't seem too bad. That's cool. Legendary creature, human rebel. I like that. This music has gone silent. Oh, okay, it's back. I'm basically playing back some like 5-hour YouTube Final Fantasy relaxing music compilation, so I'm not in control of the playlist. Let's keep going. Blazing Bomb, Final Fantasy 9. Oh, that's a nice track. It's so good. It's worth the wait. Yeah, chat has been very chill, I have to say. Okay, so now we have Call the Mountain Chocobo, Final Fantasy 7. Of course, we've got the Mountain Chocobo here. Can keep moving. Now, this card. Choco Comet. This is such a cool looking card. This is dope. The other colorations of Chocobo tend to be quite violent, giving rise to the saying yellow, best for riding, alt else, best be hiding. This looks so cool. I love it. Choco Comet is such a gangster move. So this is really nice. I like this. Angry Chicken. It seems pretty cheap as well from what I can see, 50 cents for this card now. So I don't know, that's cool, man. Is it a really powerful card? Because this is obviously such a powerful move in the games. In 12 especially, of course, it's absolutely killer. Hey Sammy, welcome to the stream. Is it like a really powerful gameplay card as well? Deals X damage to any target. Aha, yes. Not powerful, but you can do some shenanigans. Fair enough. It's a decent card. Okay, so now we have another one of the important cards here. We've got Clive, Ifrit's Dominant, and of course it's a transform card. That's no surprises there. Exile Clive, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. That's cool. So let's do the transformation here and have a look at the other side. And of course we have a pretty cool depiction of Ifrit here. Let the flames burn within you. No, let them burn without. Dansg08 the Gathering. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Wordsmith. So there we go. Again, there's alternate versions of this one, which we will later see, but definitely a really cool looking card. Let's keep going. Coral Sword from Final Fantasy 5. Definitely looks cool, but not a card that interests me specifically. Let's keep going. Should have been Come To Me free. I don't know if they've used... Did the alternate cards also have the same quotes, or they have alternate quotes as well, I wonder. We'll find that out a bit later. Okay, next we have the Fire Crystal. We've seen a few variations of this. This is... these have alternate arts as well. The alternate arts are definitely really nice for these crystals. But I think I'm mostly interested in like actual like summons or characters and that kind of thing. I think I wouldn't be wanting to pay money for like a crystal card or anything like that. Aha! Vivi in the house. There we go. So yeah, there's some really nice artworks for Vivi. And I've been told that Vivi is one of the best cards, like maybe not this one, but the actual like proper Vivi card. It might be one of the most sought after of the whole kind of set. So if you just want Vivi and you don't like need to have like the absolute best version, I feel like this might be a good one. Like this is where it's at, I think. It seems pretty cheap at the moment, and there's probably going to be quite a lot of them available, I would have to assume. Yeah, so the Vivi Ornithia card, like the proper character card, that one's like the special one, but this one is definitely, I think, attainable for people who just want a Vivi card. And it looks really cool. Let's keep going. Firion of Final Fantasy II. That sword is so iconic, that Amano, like that red sword. It just looks so nice. So cool artwork here. Equipped creatures you control have haste. Yeah, some Final Fantasy II representation there. I mean, Firion is, like, and his artwork is some of the coolest things about Final Fantasy II, I think. And yes, we are going to see some Amano artwork as well, including something he cooked up just for this particular collaboration, a really special card. So there's going to be a lot of heat. The stream might be a little bit backloaded. You might see some of the absolute coolest cards at the end. So just stay patient. Or if you need to go and you check out the VOD, make sure like you do watch it. There's going to be some heat at the end. So Freya, also in the house. Good to see her as well. We live not to forget our past, but to learn from it. That's cool. So again, as we continue to go, you're starting to see more and more representation across the entire series. But 8 is definitely underrepresented at this point. That's the one that sticks out to me so far, I think, as being underrepresented. Now, this is a card I thought looked really cool. Gilgamesh, Master at Arms. Again, like that sort of sky and the red. Like the blue and red combination cards just always look so nice. I think it's a really cool one. So yeah, Gilgamesh cards, some of my favorite. There's some alternatives for Gilgamesh as well that we'll see. But even this one I think looks pretty cool. Let's keep it going. Still a lot to get through here. We're gonna probably have to start speeding up. It's already been over an hour and a half. And we're nowhere near through half, I think, because we've got lots of alternatives to see as well. So we're gonna start to go a bit more quickly here. Haste Magic, Final Fantasy VII. I feel like haste is more effective in Final Fantasy X than it is in 7. I don't know. I think it is. So, should have been 10. That's what I'm saying. Hill Gigas, Final Fantasy VI. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to cast haste on the stream a little bit here. We need to keep it moving. Final Fantasy III, item shopkeep. Okay. I feel like for the oldest Final Fantasies, they kind of got to put something. Aha, here we go. We have a Laughing Mad card. Again, really cool looking art. It's intense with Kefka being that close up, but like mixing it with Terra and the Magitech and that kind of thing, it's a pretty intense card, I've got to say. It's a common card, so I think again it's another one that's very attainable if you want it. But yeah, one of many Kefka cards that you will see. Very cool card. But as I say, I think the Kefka cards overall, there's almost none of them that are a miss for me. They're all really cool. So another one, Light of Judgment. Kefka causing some destruction. I was there. I saw when Kefka used his Light of Judgment to torch the village of Mobliz far to the east. Mysidian Elder, Final Fantasy IV. Perhaps this is a test you must prove yourself worthy. Aha, Nibelheim Aflame. A mythic card here. Really cool artwork, but the alternate for this one is one of my favorites again from the entire set. I think this one's like nice, it's cool, but the other one I think is pretty epic personally. So really cool card here. It's another flashback thing mentioned here. So Nibelheim Aflame, flashback, cool stuff. Yeah, the alternate is really cool. It's absolutely beautiful. That's one where I could potentially just get that as some kind of print just by itself. It's that good. Opera Love Song. Final Fantasy VI's opera. Nice. Oh, my hero, my beloved, shall we still be made to part? Wait, did that have a transform? It didn't. Okay. the Prompto card, I think they've done a good job with it. This is a very Prompto card here. Look out world, here we come. Selfie shot. That's cool. Queen Bran. I mean, again, just as a pure artwork, it is cool. Nice. Prowess. The Prompto card is my favorite so far. Yeah, I mean, it should be relatively attainable as well if anyone, again, you want that kind of set for Final Fantasy 15, have all the boys. It's a nice one. Random Encounter, Final Fantasy 2. Yeah, even for like a random encounter card, I think this one goes quite hard. Like, it looks pretty cool. Iron Giant, Marlboro, Curl. It's nice. This one, Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, like this is a rough encounter. I don't think there's an encounter like that in the game, but is there a Spoony Bard card? I think there is. Red Mage, Final Fantasy 1. Sabo Tender, Final Fantasy 11. Okay. Yeah, some of them having these descriptive texts I do enjoy. Oh, no Spoony Bard. That's a shame. The Teller card looks sick. It's also another one of my favorites, actually. It's really, really cool. Samurai's Katana, Final Fantasy 14. Have you covered Kate Sith? I don't think we've hit Kate Sith yet. Hasn't appeared. Sandworm, the Final Fantasy 5 design. Ah, yes. Final Fantasy 8 fans, where are you at? Now, this is a cool art for Cypher. This is dope. And he does get the Fire Cross ability as well. But it is a rare card. So it's probably going to be a little bit pricey. All these cards look so... Like, in general, there's just so many. Like, there's hundreds and hundreds of cards. But of the hundreds, I'd say, like, there's tens of them that at least look, like, super cool. You know? Like, there's a lot of really nice stuff. And that's really what kind of tipped me over the edge of just becoming just generally interested in it. Obviously, it's just more so for the art from my side. The fact that all of these artworks now exist where they wouldn't have before, it's just super, super cool. But yeah, Cypher card, great looking card. I do like this one. But it's rare and probably a bit expensive to get. Self-Destruct, Final Fantasy 5. Ha, if I just left you in the lurch, I'd look like a jerk for all of history. Gilgamesh. Okay, that's a cool one. Obviously, brain goes to Kimari Self-Destruct, but this is definitely a good choice. Nice. Ah, yes. Okay, this is cool. So, another side quest card. This time we've got Final Fantasy X's side quest, which is, of course, Blitzball. So, you got Waka's moment before he scores against the Albed Sykes to take them through to the finals. And if we flip the card, we end up with the world champion. Of course, the Celestial Weapon. So I think this is really nice. Sorry for making you wait, Yuna. I had some promises to keep, yeah? So, cool card, for sure. Nice. Okay, more Final Fantasy 8 coming. And the Final Fantasy 8 cards, there's not a lot of them, but they're really nice cards. So, Ultimecia card here, Sorceress's Schemes. And I think this one, again, is a really cool artwork. A lot of the 8 cards, they haven't really missed with most of those. I think they're really nice. So, what you do see from 8, I think you're gonna generally like what you see. Card of the K. But yeah, it's nice. The price for your meddling death is beyond death. Sorry, yeah, is death beyond death. Let's keep going. Okay, Brunhilde, Final Fantasy 13. Isn't this like a... Okay, I guess not a flip card. I thought Saz would have like some kind of flip card and becomes this, but I don't know. But all of the summon art in general has just been so nice. You've got the chain, you've got the Gestalt mode. There's Ramuh. Final Fantasy 6 is Ramuh here. Judgment Bolt, of course. No surprises there. I rarely see a bad artwork of Ramuh. He's just always got an epic design. Lightning and Thunder God with like the epic giant beard. It's like white beard. It's always gonna look cool. Okay, Final Fantasy 8 starting to come through a little bit more in the set here. Cerberus available, and he's got the double and the triple as well. Pretty confident. Let's see how you do. So it's got all the references here as well. A little bit pricey. So I think the Final Fantasy 8 cards, like, they might be a bit rarer. This one's a rare card as well. It says $7.19. Cerberus is very strong. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it is a very strong summon in general anyway, and I guess it's pretty strong in Magic as well. So yeah, cool card. Ifrit card, Final Fantasy 8 again, that version. Not bad for a human. Triple has a potential to win you the game. Fair play. And here it is, my friends, the suplex card. They were not going to miss out on a reference like this. So yeah, the time has come to put my training to use. This is great. Nice. Suplex deals 3 damage to target creature. If that creature would die, this turn is exiled. So yeah, this is super cool. And it's another one that, again, seems to be quite attainable, I think, for people. It's a common card. So that's nice. Definitely glad that they put this one in there. Now, Lightning, I feel like every Lightning card I see looks cool. I don't think I saw a single Lightning card where I was like, eh. This one, again, really nice composition, artwork. Obviously, the literal Lightning theme always just makes the art just automatically, I think, just look cooler and have some extra pop. It's really nice. Lightning just doesn't really have a bad card. It's nice. Even like the most, I think this is one of her most common, like basic ones that she appears in. And it's really nice. Triple Triad. There it is. So Final Fantasy 8 definitely coming through now. We've seen like 4 or 5 in quick succession. Nice. Rare card though. Even the Triple Triad card is rare. Damn. It feels like a lot of the Final Fantasy 8 cards are in the rare category. Yeah, I will show the alternate art on Triple Triad. It's another one of my favorite cards, actually. 8 has really, really nice cards. Unexpected request. I shall hereby do my best to kidnap you. Great moment of the game. Cool art as well. Vaughn, Street Thief. This is one where, again, like the overall art looks really cool, but his face feels a bit off to me. This is another one of those ones where the face feels a bit off. Everything else about it just looks really cool, but his face, I don't know, it looks a bit too old to be Vaughn. It doesn't quite look enough like him. I'm not sure. Like the faces sometimes are not quite right. Like this one, Zidane, I agree a little bit as well. And this one, Vaughn, like sometimes it's a little bit off the mark, I think. But I don't know. Again, when I see them in just like smaller card form, maybe I won't think that as much. But yeah, Vaughn does have 1 or 2 more alternatives as well. So there's some pretty cool Vaughn stuff. Let's keep going. Warrior Sword, Final Fantasy 1. There you go. There's Zell. Final Fantasy 8. My weapons are these fists of mine. It's another rare card, but value-wise it seems relatively low. So if, again, you're looking to basically have the Final Fantasy 8 cast, it doesn't seem too hard to obtain at the moment, at least. So good to see Zell there, of course. Airship Crash. This is a really cool, I think, looking art. This is one where maybe like the size of the card doesn't really do it justice. Like there's a lot of detail there. And like Zidane is pretty small in the frame, so especially in card form, he's going to look absolutely tiny. But I think it's a really cool looking artwork. So just our luck to crash in this forest. It's going to get interesting. Best starting color now. We've moved on to the green cards now. Okay, Ancient Adamantoise, Final Fantasy 15. This is a mythic, yeah, this is a mythic card. So, it's one of these ones where, again, I'm just like, interesting. They made this one a mythic. But I have to assume, like, they know what they're doing in terms of if a card is a mythic, then it must mean it's a powerful, like, useful card. It must be really good. All damage that will be dealt to you and other permanents you control is dealt to this creature instead. Damn. It's a mythic because the effect is extremely weird. This artwork I always thought looked really cool, and someone mentioned previously that the Quistis art before didn't have the whip. This one, she's got the whip. And it's the Balam T-Rex or common card, should be an easy one to get, and I think this is a cool card. Sometimes it's better to run. Yeah, so I do like the T-Rex or card. Bard's Bow, Final Fantasy 14. Bart's and Boko, again, those two together, because Bart's by himself is not cool enough. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Call me Bart's, me and my Chocobo just go wherever the trail leads us. I'm not sure about the artwork on this one, I'm not the hugest fan of it, but hey, Bart's and Boko together, still cool. Blitzball shot, more Waka Blitzball representation here. Everyone seems to be calling for Waka, folks. Does it cool? Common card. Final Fantasy V hater. Have you seen my tier list? I'm a Bart's hater. I'm not a Final Fantasy V hater. Okay, Cactar. This looks very much like the Final Fantasy X one from Beaconell. I know they all look very similar anyway, but this one specifically just because it's in like a desert-y environment. I know they always appear from there, but like when I see this, I just think Final Fantasy X personally. But yeah, obviously gotta have the Cactars. Did Fat Chocobo appear? Not yet, actually. But Chocobo Kick did. Aggressive artwork. Final Fantasy IV. Yeah, we're gonna have to like zoom through like the last bits. Chocobo Racetrack, that's cool. But seeing this guy win is so annoying that I don't think I'd want a card to remind me of that. That art is the view from the Oasis. See, I thought it was, but it's a Final Fantasy VI card, so I don't know. Any favorites? Many. I mean, you'll get to see more of them as I talk through it, but like, yeah, there's a lot of cards that are great. Clash of the Icons 16, Colosseum Behemoth from Final Fantasy 2. Commune with Beavers, I love this. Guy Speak Beaver. This is brilliant. One of the more funny moments from Final Fantasy 2. Hey Arthur, welcome to the stream. Great. Diamond Weapon. Now, is it me or did Emerald and Ruby Weapon not get cards? Because I think people are saying that all of the cards have been spoiled now. Diamond Weapon is in there, which is cool and all that, but surely Emerald and Ruby should have had cards, right? Like super bosses have cards. That's a bit of a surprise to me. Like they're pretty iconic. I'm kind of sad that they weren't included. Earth Crystal, another one. These crystals are still, as I say, pretty valuable. Ruby, sorry, they're not included, but Diamond got one. Okay. See you later, Anonymous. Take care. Most super bosses didn't make it in. Yeah, I think, did Penance make it in? I don't remember. Esper Origins, Final Fantasy 6. This is a cool looking artwork, I have to say. Penance is not in, yeah. Aha, Galef's final act. Galef, what a legend. I'll destroy you, X-Death, even if it means I have to take you into the afterlife myself. This is cool. Galef's awesome. Okay, Gigantoad from Final Fantasy 15. Let's keep it moving. I will have to generally just speed up the tempo here, so sorry if there's any cards you want to spend more time looking at, but we need to keep it moving. Grand Pulse Ochu. I do like that this one's in there. I have a lot of memories of fighting this boss in like the challenge stuff that I did before. Gazar Greens. This is a cute artwork. There are many Chocobo arts, but it's pretty cool. Now, we've got Jumbo Cactar. Some Cactars live long lives and grow huge. This Jumbo Cactar is one of them. So the Final Fantasy 8 with the moustache. This is great. Rare card. And it has some value. So I think this must be a very strong card as well. This card is such a meme. This one, Final Fantasy 14. So Final Fantasy 14 has been a little bit less recently. They've been adding a few more of the other stuff, so that's cool. Final Fantasy 11. It's not, but it's a very fun card. It got memed so much when it came out. Cool. I really think this Queen artwork is excellent. I really like this one. World have only two things. Things you can eat and things you know can eat. This is a great card. If you're a Queen fan, or like you want like the cast members, I think this is great. I like this card. Reach the horizon. Guess this is Goodbye City of Markov. A Realm Reborn. Okay. So they just made Q for Queener. That's cool. And yes, we finally made it to the greatest card of the entire set. Rise a Shoolpuff. Yes, they made one. Ever since I started seeing the cards drop, I was like, please, there has to be a Rise a Shoolpuff card. There's got to be one. And the day I saw it drop, and it has a cool artwork as well, I was like, yes, this is the one. This is the one. So I was literally thinking I should buy literally 100 of these and basically like gift them out as like channel stuff. Like send you guys like signed Rise a Shoolpuff cards for based on like certain things we do, like events we have, like community stuff we do and stuff. So I might literally buy up Rise a Shoolpuff cards. If anyone wants to send any to me for free, you're welcome to. I might literally have a stack of Rise a Shoolpuff cards and just gift them out, basically. They're an uncommon card. I don't know if they'll remain this cheap if I try and buy them all up, but just bear in mind that I want this card for obvious reasons. We need as many of these cards as we can. So please reserve Rise a Shoolpuff cards for me. I need these. Great, great card. And well, a very special one for our community specifically. So yeah, Rydia's return. Rydia gets some representation. Final Fantasy 4. I mean, it's taken a while. I don't think we've seen her. But yeah. Yeah, I'm going to drive the demand singularly for those cards and just make them super expensive. Oh my god. That's the thing, I just don't know. So if a card is uncommon, how many copies of this card could there even be? Are we talking like 1,000, 10,000, 50,000? I have no freaking clue. So if I want to buy like 100, how much of the entire circulation of Rise of Shoolpuff cards is that? I have no freaking clue, obviously. But I would actually like to get a whole bunch of these. 100 won't make a dent. That's good. So yeah, as I say, send those cards my way. Saz, Chocobo, we just can't catch break, can we? Rare card. Let's keep it moving. Saz's Chocobo, that's cute. It wouldn't matter. Okay. That's good. Side quest, raise a Chocobo. We can transform this one into a black Chocobo. Okay. Nice. Accurate. Yeah, there's always going to be like one of one stuff. Well, there isn't a one of one card. There's the Lord of the Rings one that I've heard about later. But for Final Fantasy, there's a serialized stuff. Right at the end, we can talk a little bit about that stuff. But someone was mentioning Fat Chocobo. I think it was James. There is a Fat Chocobo card. There should be an alternate art for this one as well, which we'll see a little later. Surrounded by Moogles. Walk and Kaplunk. Now, this is a cool looking artwork. Sarah Wells, thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. This should get you 100. How much would it even cost? I think they're like 50 cents. But obviously, I have no idea how many would sell for that actual price. But I will try to get my hands on some of those cards. I don't know how easy it is to just go into those websites and just buy 100 at once. Or is it just, oh, there's one person selling it for 50 cents? I don't know how that works. I've never bought these cards before as singles, so I don't know. But we'll see. This card, though, looks sick. This is really nice. Summon Titan. In the UK, use Magic Madhouse. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. But again, it's another one of those things where surely the prices will go down even further. Like, that Hypello card is so niche that I feel like in a few months' time, you just get them for free almost. They're already almost for free, but you'd get them even more cheaply. But yeah, I'll look into that stuff a bit later. I still haven't decided exactly what to do. Shipping is a real hassle. That's the problem. That's why if I could buy like 100 at once and just get them shipped as like one package, that would be nice. Summoner's Grimoire, Final Fantasy 14. Aha, a Tifa card. Here we go. Landfall. I'm pretty good at taking care of myself, you know. So I've heard the Tifa cards in general are pretty powerful. And so even this quote-unquote basic card is at $3.41. So I think that's a sign. What do they do to her face? Yeah, her face looks a little different as well. Like, the faces are some of the hardest ones to get, but waifu tax. This track is extremely quiet. Let me see if I can... But I think if I turn it up, then the other track's going to be too loud and blah, blah. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Let me just move it forward to something else. Okay. Right, Tifa's Limit Break. Again, cool artwork. Got the somersault. Uncommon, but this one's relatively cheap compared to the other one, but obviously it's not as... This one doesn't have the waifu tax, as Ammo calls it. Torgal, cool card. Thank you, Torgal, for never giving up. That's such a great moment between them. And I think there's a few versions of Torgal. Town Greeter, Final Fantasy 1. Okay. Traveling Chocobo. Mythic Rare. Now, that we're going to get into the whole Chocobo thing later, all the serialized stuff, blah, 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 but this is already a mythic card, this one. So 25 bucks apparently at the moment. But as I've been saying all along, from everything I've been told, there's a chance that prices will drop on this stuff later on. So probably best to not FOMO in and try to buy these cards at these prices. That's what I've heard. But I am definitely not an expert. Again, Final Fantasy 13, Vanille. And I guess this is, again, yeah, it turns into this Ragnarok card. We've talked about this one already, so that's the other part of it. This Chocobo card is very good and will be sought after because of all the different colors. Yep, that's true. Absolute Virtue, another mythic card, Final Fantasy 11. This one just looks really cool. I have to say, I obviously don't know anything about Absolute Virtue itself, but it does look very cool. Aha, finally, Balthea and Fran. Balthea was another character I was really interested in, like what kind of artworks they're going to find for him, because obviously he's one of my favorites, so cool. But this is one of the ones they have. They have a lot of cards with Balthea and Fran together, but the leading man has made his appearance, and there's definitely a few more cards of him. So we'll keep it moving, because there's more to see. Now, this artwork looks really dope, I have to say. You fool, do I look like some lowly black mage soldier? Choco, Seeker of Paradise. So Chocobo Forest here, representation. Final Fantasy 9. It's cool. See you later, Tan. Take care. Aha, and we have a Sid. So there are 15 Sids, am I right? There's 15 different Sids, so they've tried to make Sid cards for basically all of the Sids in Final Fantasy, which is dope. This is 14 Sid, apparently. And yes, there is the Final Fantasy X Sid as well. We will see him at some point. Cloud of Darkness, Final Fantasy 3. Pretty unique artwork, looks cool. We are the Cloud of Darkness, bringer of wrath and destroyer of light. FF2 through 16. Yeah, nice. Aha, now this card is a favorite. I know that Emmett Selch is like one of the absolute like favorite all-time characters of Final Fantasy 14, and his card is very sought after from what I know, and the prices seem to definitely reflect that. So we have a transformation card, Elder Wizard transforms into this, Hades, Sorcerer of Eld. So yeah, it looks like a very, very cool card. Really nice artwork here, definitely. So fans of Emmett Selch, I'm sure they would love to get their hands on this one. Really cool card. but you can see the prices definitely reflect that. So will probably remain like forever expensive to get. I can't see it like ever becoming quote unquote cheap, but it's really nice. Emperor of Palamecia, Final Fantasy II. It's a cool depiction. All the Sid cards are the same text-wise, it just changes the Final Fantasy reference. Okay. Now this, I also think looks really cool. X-Death. Final Fantasy V. I just like the artwork of this one. I think it's nice. Oh, it's a transform card. Sorry, almost forgot. Really nice. Neo X-Death. So X-Death into Neo X-Death. Really nice looking card. Nice. Ah, did I miss it? The Emperor. Sorry, obviously I'm trying to go through more quickly. I might miss some stuff. Yeah, it does. Let's see it. There you go. There's the transformation. The Lord Master of Hell. It's got to be the final showdown with Sheen. Yeah, he's got so many quotes. Garland, Knight of Cornelia. Final Fantasy 1, another transformation, of course, into chaos. Even as you die again and again, I shall return. Nice. Okay, keep it going. I really like the artwork of this one. Garnet, Princess of Alexandria. This is really nice. Is there a Sin card? Yes, there are actually multiple Sin cards. I was kind of surprised a little bit. But yeah, we will be seeing some Sin cards as well. As I said, there's just so many. I could not fathom how many they made. I had no freaking clue. I really thought it was going to be like tens of cards, not basically 1,000, including alternates. King of the Dwarves, Final Fantasy IV. We will fight along with you for the planet, our home. Gladiolus. It seems like the Final Fantasy 15 boys are relatively easy to collect if you want the boy band set. I think you can definitely do it. Golbez. Now, Golbez has a really cool looking card. I've definitely seen it. We'll come to it later. Really nice one. Now, this artwork goes hard. For Hope, he's not my absolute favorite character of all time, but hey, this artwork looks really cool for him. I really like this. This is nice art. If we have the power to destroy Cocoon, then we have the power to save it. Yeah, the 13 artworks as a collective I think have looked really nice. All of the characters have had some pretty nice artwork. Ignis, the man himself. I've come up with a new recipe. Is of course on his card. It had to be done. Cool card for sure. Does anyone actually like Hope? I'm sure you'll find plenty. Genova. Really cool looking artwork for Genova once again. Again, just like the color palette, I always like this type of kind of more vibrant reds and greens and blues coming together. It just looks really nice. There's a few Genova cards. We're going to see some more. Joshua. So Clive had his transform card. Of course, Joshua gets one too. His one's not mythic. It's a rare. And of course, he has his Phoenix card that he transforms into. Rising Flames and Flames of Rebirth. Nice card. Keep going. Ah, yes, Gabranth. Legend. Cool looking art. Of course, the judges, like their armor and stuff just look so iconic that any card, like any artwork depicting them, I think automatically is going to look cool. I'm very glad they at least had, you know, Gabranth from the judges there. It had to happen. So I'm glad. Cool card. Final Fantasy 12 fans definitely probably going to want one of these if they're collecting. Now, another Kefka card, one of millions of Kefka cards, but yes, again, another one that looks pretty cool. And it is another transformation card. Let's transform it. And when you do, you have Kefka, Ruler of Ruin. So, yeah, another cool Kefka card. Not my absolute favorite, but still looks cool. We have a transformable Kuja card. Peace is but a shadow of death, desperate to forget its painful past. And of course, goes into Trans Kuja. Nice. Yeah, this is a cool looking card. There's the first major error. Flame Star instead of Flare Star. Ah, well spotted, the Annabelle. Yes. Kuja is one of my favorite cards. Another, here you go, Lightning Army of One. I think this card looks really cool. I've not seen a bad Lightning card, as I say, and this one is worth a lot of money, as you can see. Well, maybe not this specific one, but variations of Lightning Army of One. I've heard they're very powerful cards. So this is, yeah, the Annabelle says it's freakish strong. So it makes it a bit tough if you just want Lightning, but we've already seen one where her artwork is on it and it's just like Lightning Magic or something, like that's cheap. But if you want the Lightning Army of One, you're gonna probably struggle to find one for, again, like quote-unquote cheap. It seems pretty sought after, and the artworks look really nice. Let's keep going. Locke, I like this artwork. I think it's pretty cool. That's nice. As long as there are people who need to be protected, I'll keep on fighting. Yeah, I think like if you wanted to build like a set for Final Fantasy VI that had all of the cast members, I think the artworks for them are all just really nice. Noctis, this is a cool looking card as well, I think, with the all of the like the legendary swords around him or whatever they are, the weapons. I forgot exactly what they were called, but yeah. And I've always liked this quote: "Many sacrificed all for the king, so must the king sacrifice himself for all." I've always thought that was a fantastic quote. So really nice art there. Let's keep going. Omega Heartless Evolution, Final Fantasy 14. There's a few Omega arts in there. Rinoa for the Final Fantasy 8 Faithful with Angelo Cannon. Of course, Angelo there as well. Again, another one with a face maybe a little off. But again, when you have like a really small card, you're probably not going to notice it. It just, I think, looks cool with like the field behind her and stuff. I think it's nice. Noctis is a very high-powered card. Armiger. That's what it was, something like that. And then we have another companion with Rufus and, is it Darkstar? Yeah, Darkstar. I'll control the world with fear. It takes too much to do it like my old man. Yeah, I just remember how annoying his boss fight was when I first faced him. Nice card here for Rydia. I think, again, like the orange and green and stuff, it kind of mixes well with her as well. This is a nice looking card. Landfall and Summon. Keep it going. Starting to get closer to the end of this kind of main set for now. There's Sarah! And she also has a transformation. She probably transforms into Crystal. I haven't seen this card, but there you go. So there's crystallized Sarah. And at least they explain there, Lassie, who fulfilled their focus for their fancy master, transformed into crystal and granted life eternal. But yeah, as Alexa says, there's definitely a lot of variety here. I feel like there's something for everyone. Like there's some kind of character or artwork or style or something that every Final Fantasy fan will look at and say, yeah, like that looks really nice. 11 here, Shantoto. Aha, someone was asking about Sin, and there it is, the Overdrive Sin boss fight depicted here. So, rare card. It's a really cool looking card, and the composition and stuff is pretty sick, but Sin just looks a bit too washed out to me, almost. Like, I know he's just like a big grey space whale anyway, but just something about it, like, I don't know. It's cool, but I can live without having this card personally, but it is a very cool composition. And yes, here is Squall. Nice card here, I think. Rough Divide move as well. So this is the standard Teller card, but there's an alternate art, which is one of my absolute favorites. I really dug the art style of that. So this is the kind of, even the regular one goes hard for Teller, the Great Sage. But there's an alternate that is really, really nice. He looks pale. Yeah, that's generally how I felt about it. Yeah, so we don't have a Spoony Bard card, but at least we got this, I guess. Again, it would have been maybe like having his quote there, at least, I think would have been cool, but they've got so much right that I kind of find it hard to complain. Terra, represented of course, and this is a transform card. So let's do that. Whoops. And Esper Terra, of course, makes an appearance. I'm not sure I love the artwork for this one personally. It's another one like, yeah, it's cool, but this one is nice. But maybe this one I'm not like the hugest fan of. Let's keep going. Aha, Tidus Blitzball Star. There we go. Every blitzer knows when you got the ball, you got to score. So I think his kind of, the follow through of his kick is extremely high, maybe a bit too high, but I think it's still a cool looking card again with the blue tones and stuff. I think it's nice. I think Terra is my favorite card, overall card. Nice. Now again, another really cool Ultimecia card. All of Ultimecia's cards I think look cool. It's really nice. His leg, yeah. So let's transform this one. I think this artwork already looks nice. And then it transforms into, of course, this final version. This is really nice. Time, it will not wait, no matter how hard you hold on. It escapes you, like the final quote there as well. This is a really nice card. I like this one. And here it is, Vivi. One of the earlier cards that I saw revealed, and immediately I was like, man, this looks so nice. This is such a cute artwork of Vivi. I really like this card. And then, of course, it had to also be apparently like a really busted, great card and whatever. Now everyone wants it and blah, blah, blah. So this is one of those cards that I would kind of, I'd love to have it, but I'm not going to have it because it's too expensive. I would never pay like that kind of money to have it. But it's a very cool card, I have to say. But yeah, you can see the prices even for this one, 75 bucks. Yeah, hopefully it will come down in the future, but I can't see it coming down to like 10 bucks or 5 bucks or something. I think there'll be prints available for this. That's cool. Like this is the kind of thing where I'm just like, again, I wish there was just prints for this stuff where like if you're mostly interested in the art and you think it's really cool, you could still get your hands on it. So time will tell what happens with this card, but it's one of the most kind of special cards of the entire, like out of all of the cards basically. Final Fantasy 14, The Wandering Minstrel. I don't know too much about this one. It's a pretty cool artwork, but it's pretty cool. Yes, this is another card that's going to be quite popular. Yuna, Hope of Spira. The Minstrel is the game director's NPC. I see. I think I did hear a mention of Yoshi P, and I was like, what's going on with it? But okay, I see. It's him represented in there. That makes a lot of sense now. Fine. Yuna, Hope of Spira. Really nice artwork. The tender moment with Valifor here. And I've heard it's a pretty good card, but it's a mythic, and so automatically it means that it's going to be a bit more expensive. But it seems $3. I guess this specific version doesn't have anything special about it in terms of its treatment or whatever. $3, it's not that bad, seems. I don't know. But yeah, really cool card. Zidane, Tantalus Thief. I really like this art style for Zidane personally. I think given like the original art style of 9, I think this works nicely. It's a cool card. Human Mutant Scout. Yuna's ability is very flavorful. Huge buffs to summons, and once per turn she returns 1 summon to the game, but if she loses that, it's gone forever. But yeah, I think this art looks nice. Basically sending them. That's a nice touch. Adventurer's Airship from Final Fantasy 1. Now, this one is a valuable card. Is this valuable because of who the card is about, or is it because it's mechanically very powerful, or is it both? Because this is obviously, again, a full team one I don't know anything about, but you can tell it's pretty valuable. And it has an alternative art that's pretty expensive. Mechanically powerful, fine. Okay, and we have Blitzball. It's kind of surprising how much Blitzball has been represented. I kind of was a little surprised at that. Add 1 mana of any color. And then goal is the name of the thing. Cool. But yeah, a lot of Blitzball, as you can see. It's a powerhouse. Okay. Buster Sword. Oh man, the alternate art. Wait, even this one is $37? What? Oh, it's a mythic. Even this one's a mythic. The art just kind of looks so basic for it that I was just like, wait, surely this is some like not special card. But yeah, even this is a mythic. Damn. Did they have a long pass from Letica? I wish they did. I need to make my own Final Fantasy X deck. But yeah, the alternate art to this one is freaking epic. I think it's the one in the thumbnail, basically, the alternate art. It looks so good. Elixir, I think we can move that one along. Excalibur 2, this is a nice artwork with Steiner and Excalibur 2. I like this. Seems to be a powerful card. It's got a little bit of value to it. Blitzball remains the most requested game to have in 14. Interesting. Yeah, it does look like that, Raw, you're right. But really cool artwork here, I do like this one. Genji Glove, Gilgamesh stuff. Rare card. $3 as well. Not cheap. The instant ramen card. Nice. This is cool. Very niche, but I mean it's 39 cents apparently. So if anyone wants it, it seems like you can get it. Okay, Iron Giant. Final Fantasy 15's version. Cool. Lionheart. This is a pretty cool artwork, I think, and it's relatively cheap as well. Lions are known for their great strength and pride. I think that looks pretty cool. Lionheart is a disappointment. You mean like mechanically, I assume? And uncommon and quite weak. Fair. Yeah, compared to obviously Buster Sword, it's very not cool, but I do like the art. Lunatic Pandora, I think this is a really nice depiction of it. The kind of sunset sky, it does look really nice. And it has a little quote from Zell as well. Common card. I do like that. Magic Pot, this is nice. Final Fantasy V's Magic Pot. This is a cool artwork for it, I think. I do like this. The Masamune. One of many, many, many cards that have Sephiroth on it. Of course. Monk's Fist, Final Fantasy 1. Pretty cool art for this one as well. New favorite Lunatic Pandora. It really does look nice. Yes, Poo Poo UFO, Final Fantasy 8. Let's go. This is a nice card. I think it's a nice card to have for Final Fantasy 8 fans. And the Regalia, yep, does have its own card as well. Nice shot with the boys. And this card I think looks really cool. I did say Final Fantasy VIII has great cards. There's not that many of them, but they have great cards. This is another one. I think this is a great shot. Selfie Zell and Squall running away from the X-ATM. This is great. And it has the quote as well. Let's get the hell out of here. Like, this is a nice card. I really like this one. Ring of the Lucy. Even has Zell's Goofy Run, yeah. World Map, Final Fantasy 1. Adventurers In. So we're going to start to get to some more of these like kind of land cards now. So I might scroll a bit more quickly. Ah, this one is sick. Again, Final Fantasy VIII, Balam Garden, Seed Academy card. This is one side of it. And then you click the transform button, and of course it turns into the airborne version. This is just great. I really like this. There's an alternate art version of this as well, and it's even nicer. So that's super nice. Okay, some of these I will go a bit more quickly. They're kind of quote-unquote just locations. If there's any we particularly know, like obviously I know at least Clive's Hideaway. Some of them just a bit more generic, like Crossroads Village. It says it's Final Fantasy 2 and stuff. It's a representation of Bathsk, but still. Eden, always a really cool looking location. Okay, Final Fantasy 5, Gone. Gold Saucer has its own card, of course. Gongaga. Guado Salam. I think this one is it does look cool, I have to say. Far Plane Gateway. Insomnia, Crown City. Cool looking card. Ishgard. Holy See. That, I mean, the artwork looks cool. No doubt. Jidor. Lindblom. Lindblom. Midgar, of course. Gotta be there. Rabanasta. I really like the Rabanasta art. It looks nice. Sharlayan, Nation of Scholars. Starting Town. Final Fantasy 1. That's a cool art, man. Treno's art is nice. I do like this. Good quote as well. Vector, Imperial Capital. Windhurst Federation Center. And this one is great. The Zanakan Ancient Metropolis card. You've got the Dream Zanakan version on the left, and you have the Zanakan Ruins on the right. This is a really nice card, I have to say. I do like this one. It's one of those where, like, would I want to own it? Not really. Like, I don't know why. It's not one I probably want to display, but it looks really cool. It's a nice card. Planes, Final Fantasy 12. I don't know why 7th Heaven is kind of under Planes. Under the plate. But yeah, that's how it is. This one's cool. Road Trip. Final Fantasy 13. There, Besaid art. This one looks really nice, like a concept art kind of vibe. You can see them practicing Blitzball on the beach. Like, again, in small card form. I don't know how visible that would be, but this is just a really nice artwork. It's really good. Final Fantasy 8, the Lighthouse. So we're almost done with the basic set here. Took us 2.5 hours to get through. Swamps. So these are cards, I guess, that obviously could show up when you buy packs as well. So depending if you're mostly in it for collecting like characters and espers and all that kind of stuff, like summons, obviously you're going to see these cards in the... Because most of them are obviously a little bit generic and not that interesting to people like us. Damn, people getting to pick stuff up already. I pre-ordered like last month, like early May. I think I put a pre-order in for the things that I got. And I haven't received a confirmation yet. I think it's the 13th. It says it's due to release here. So hopefully I get it. Yeah, I don't know how you guys getting your stuff early. I got mine from like a high street retailer as well. This one's nice. Industrial Regency, Lindblom. I like this art. Another Midgar. Another Zanakan card here. Yeah, the Zanakan cards always, I think, look nice. Oh, here we go. Okay. That's really cool. That's some heat right there. So these are like the more special artwork edition. So these are alternate art. So I think they are alternate arts exactly the same mechanically as the other ones we've seen, but obviously they literally have alternate arts. Everything else is the same. Pre-release. People who pre-order pick up their stuff tomorrow. Fair play. Yeah, exact same card, but a different look. But, I mean, that's a really nice design. Looks really cool. So, yeah, now you're starting to see some heat. And this is the stuff that's going to make you want to buy some cards right now. But just be very careful with your money, please. So, Kane card here. Looks very cool. And, yes, look at this card right here. Sephiroth Fabled Soldier, and it's a flip card. So the front already I think looks super cool, and then you give it a flip, and of course you get a really cool looking one-winged angel as well. So yeah, this one obviously it's already says $50. Definitely pretty special card. Prices will be lowest in 3 weeks when supply is high and meta isn't established. Yeah, I think that's what I've been hearing, and it's good to hear more people that actually know the stuff better. Also, kind of backing that up. So the prices you see here, like I personally would not pay for them. I wouldn't pay this price for this stuff, but just be patient, as people are saying, and just hold. So yeah, again, alternate art for Clive. This one again just looks super cool. They really went hard on these artworks. They look really nice. I mean, this is great. Warden of Inferno. So some really nice stuff here. Oh yeah, sorry, this Sephiroth card is actually 317 is 160. It's not even 46. Right now this card is 160 to buy. Yeah, obviously it's hard to tell who's got how much money. You just never know, man. If people got money to burn and they don't want to risk potentially not having it or whatever, like, obviously people can do what they want with their money, but yeah. Balthier and Fran, another cool looking card with both of them again. Looks cool. Are we going to get any Balthier solo cards? Lightning Army of One card here again. I still think that's a really cool art. I like the previous one better personally, but does it very cool. And this one again, because it's a very powerful card, as we've heard, $75 at the moment. And here is another alternate art for Vivi. 321, $165 so far for this one, but cool looking art, I have to say. Obviously, once you start to get to these versions, your eyes just glance over at the price a lot more, because you're just like, holy shit, like, okay, this is where it gets pretty rough. Aha, this is the card. So, I believe, people in chat can tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe this was commissioned for Yoshitaka Amano, the great man himself, to draw, to create for this specific collaboration. So this is a brand new art that was done by the great man himself for Magic the Gathering. This is brand new, never before been seen. This card is freaking dope. This is so cool. So yeah, if this is one card where it's like, yeah, if I could have this, this is one card I would absolutely love to have. Because again, this is, for me, this is like, if you are a bit of a collector, you don't want too many things, but you just want a few really nice things, then this is an incredible card to have. Like, if he ever came to your town in some kind of event or something, you could get him to sign one of these. I don't know, like, insane. Of course, it transforms as well. Let's transform it. And it turns into another Amano artwork on the back. Kefka, Rule of Ruin. The back doesn't do too much for me, personally. I don't love this artwork, but the front is just so good. I just really like this art. It's so colourful. And just, it's such a Kefka art, you know? It just looks fantastic. So, this is one of my absolute favourites of the set. And well, I already basically have an Amano art display with all the discs. So, yeah, I would be interested in this one, but again, I would not pay $70 for a card. I just wouldn't do it, but it's cool. And some more Amano heat in the form of Terror. So this one is an existing artwork, I believe, or is this a new one too? I think this one's existing, right? And it also transforms into Esper Terror. So again, front and back Amano artwork, but I'm pretty sure this one's already exists. But doesn't mean it's not a very cool card, obviously. Amano's artworks are just iconic. OG concept art, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd seen this one before. 323, $106, yeah, it's still, obviously. I think all of the Amano stuff is going for bigger money. Ultima, again, an alternate art for him. I really like this art style for Ultima as well, looks cool. If you're a massive 16 fan, you've got to have some kind of Ultima card. I think he is a bit cheaper than some of the other stuff. So that's the good news, I guess. Ambrosia, cool looking artwork again. Pretty easy to pick up if you want it. Yep, it bears repeating many times because people's money we're talking about. Just hold tight on these. It's not recommended to buy them at the prices that you see unless something's already very cheap. If it's like 50 cents and you just want it, then yeah, just buy it, I think. But if you're seeing like 30, 50, 100, 150, 200, like, probably have to calm down. Yeah, this art I think looks really cool. I hadn't seen this one before. I really like this. It's a really nice style. This looks nice. It's another one like I probably wouldn't get because I just wouldn't really want to display it. If I did get it, I'd get very few cards. Very small display. And this artwork for Stiltskin is really nice. So yeah, these like extended art cards, alternate art cards, they're really nice. I did say the stream would be backloaded. This is where like the really cool shit starts to come in terms of just pure artwork and design. Ultima here. Vanar. Another transform card. Wow. That's a really nice card. Let's keep going. Yeah, these are the crystal alternates. Ah, yes. Memories returning. This card, I think, is fantastic. And at the moment, thankfully, it doesn't look that expensive. $279. I just think this card looks super cool. Really nice artwork. The composition, the colors, the style. I think this is just a great art. It's one of my favorites again. On the right, the FIN is the set. FCA is through the ages, right? So special lots of mana. Yeah, okay. But yeah, one of my favorites. As I say, 8, like on average, it has really, really cool cards. Stolen Uniform, Final Fantasy 6 fans, Lock fans, like this is a nice art as well. There's just some really stunning stuff in this set. The Water Crystal, it's nice. Dark Confidant, Darkness Crystal. Yeah, this was the one I was talking about before. I think this is one of the most badass cards of the entire collection. This looks so damn cool. In that sense, thankfully, I'm not a full team player because it could have been one of those where I gotta have this card. If it was, say, like Anima that had the equivalent of something this badass, I'd be really fighting hard to not pay for that one. This is just really cool. I really like this one. It's one of my favorites. Fire Crystal. Alternate art for Gilgamesh. I actually prefer the first one that I saw for Gilgamesh, just personally. I think, obviously this one's cool, it has its own style and all that, but I think I actually like the first one I saw a little better. Did you pre-order the Final Fantasy X? Yeah, I pre-ordered the Final Fantasy X Commander deck, and I got one collector booster pack, so not like the box thing, that was way too expensive, just like one, just for the fun of pulling some cards, just to see what happens. And here comes one of my absolute favorites. This card is so damn cool. The Nibelheimer Flame, alternate art. This is stunning. This is so nice. It's another one that would just work really nice as just a print by itself, but even obviously as a card, it's really beautiful. So really nice. Like, this is one card I would love to have. The Kefka card, this card, I think like they're two of my absolute favorites. And this one is low-key one of my favorites as well. Again, the Final Fantasy VIII cards. The Triple Triad alternate art I think is so cool. They've really done some great work on these ones. Like the compositions, the colors, like the art style. I think they're so nice. Really nice. So Psych arrived just in time. I think Psych needs one of these cards. As one of the biggest Final Fantasy VIII fans I know, this card is so nice. It says $6 for now. If it even says that now, then hopefully that's a good sign that eventually it will come down further and you'll be able to get it. Super card. I really like that one. Another one here, Clash of the Icons. I think this one looks fantastic. There's some absolute heat here. Now this one is cheap, I have to say, but I think this one's just really nice. Maybe a little underrated if it's, even now it's only 84 cents. Maybe it's just a bit of a crap card, I don't know. But I think this looks really cool, the Clash of the Icons card. Earth Crystal, let's keep moving. Jumbo Cactar, alternate art. It does look very cool, I gotta say. Ironically, the card is kind of bad. Fair play. But yeah, nice card there. A Realm Reborn. PTSD from a long Titan fight. Yeah, this artwork for Torgal I think is really cool as well. So 16 fans. Seems pretty reasonable to get your hands on it. It's an uncommon card, so probably not too bad. Alternate art for Genova. Now, I think this one looks really nice. Again, the Genova arts that I've seen, they've all looked really nice. Really cool. Ancient Calamity. And Omega Heartless Evolution, Final Fantasy 14. I think, again, yeah, the coloured pencil ones, they're some of my absolute favourites. I think that's generally been my favourite style of the artworks I've seen. And we actually have an alternate art of Sin, Spear's Punishment. This is interesting. I'm kind of surprised that they gave this one an alternate art, but it looks pretty cool. I don't know why, I'm not like a huge fan of it, per se. Like, I don't know. It's cool, but it's not like, oh yeah, it's a Final Fantasy X card, I'm a big Final Fantasy X fan, I've got to have it. I don't get that feeling from this card, but it is cool. Now this card though, this card just goes like unreasonably hard. This card is sick. This is the Teller alternate art. I think it looks super duper cool. It's one of my absolute favorites. This is a great card. It's another one I wouldn't mind having this card. It's so good. Just love the art style of it. Okay, this is the alternate for this one. It's a very expensive card because it's a very powerful card as well, apparently. And now, here comes another one of my absolute favorites. This is the Buster Sword. And this card is literally fire. Like, look at that. And it's a very powerful card anyway. And I think this art looks super cool. And it's mythic rare. Hence, it's currently at least $108. Obviously, all of that's subject to change. But this one just looks so nice. Let's keep going. Excalibur 2. I like the other Excalibur art a lot anyway. Maybe even a little more. Like the glow on the sword and stuff was pretty cool. This one doesn't have the same glow. Like the sword itself kind of looks a bit not as nice in this one personally. I don't know. It's nice, but not one of my absolute favorites. Masamune, alternate art here. The bloody end of it. Now, this one is super cool. I think this is like the coolest land card that I've seen. The alternate art for Balam. Of course, you can switch it into the airborne mode. I think this is just a super nice card. And thankfully, it's pretty cheap, it seems. Okay, Eden. I think the first, like, Eden looks better when you zoom out, personally, so I'm not that big on this one. Now, this Bahamut card looks so nice. This is a great card. So again, Bahamut, I'm told, is a powerful card anyway. Add to that the fact that this card looks as good as it does, and that's why it costs what it does right now. But cool card for sure. Another one of my favorites. Crystal Fragments, alternate art with Garnet and Ico. Looks cool. Transforms, of course, into Alexander. I do like this depiction of Alexander as well, actually. This is nice. But the card itself is very cheap. It's uncommon. I really like this card as well. I think it's pretty cute. The alternate art for Choco Mog. I think this is really nice. It's a common card. For a common card, this is really nice. Knights of the Round. This is the kind of more extended, covers more of the card. It looks really, really nice. I like this one. Let's keep going. Yeah, this one goes hard as well. Summon Primal Garuda. So again, thanks to the rareness level of some of these are actually pretty easy to get. If you're, again, 16 fan, Garuda fan. It's an uncommon card, $1.60 right now. Hopefully it comes down even more. Looks nice. This Leviathan card I think is fantastic. Art-wise, I think it looks really good. Very nice card. Final Fantasy 15's version. Well, for me, it's one of the peak moments of 15 as well, so it's nice. There's Shiva's alternate. I think this one looks pretty cool too. I like both versions of the card, personally, they're nice. Of course, with Heavenly Strike and Diamond Dust. Now, this card, I think is sick. This artwork, like Jack's face maybe a little bit, like too intense, but super looking card with like Sin in the background, the color palette. I think this is a great, cool looking card, but when you flip it, this depiction of Brass's Fine Leon is one of my favorites, one of the best arts of Brass's Fine Leon I've personally seen. The way that you can see like Zanakin like in the background and stuff, this card is so nice. Is another one of my absolute favorites from the entire set. Like this card is absolute heat. It's really, really good. Very nice. So yeah, one of my absolute favorites. This is one card where if I could have it, I probably would. It's really nice. And here's another one I would have for obvious reasons. Now, if I'm being totally honest, I think the anima artworks, I like them. They're really good. But there's nothing that made me think, holy shit, this is incredible. Like, this is amazing. So I think this card, obviously, I'd like to have because it's anima and I got to have it. But did anima get the absolute best cards? Yeah. it's good. I like it, but it's not like it's special for me. Let's continue on. Primal Odin. This is really nice as well. Brunhilde. Now, again, like the intensity of these cards, like it's really nice. There's a bit too much going on in this one almost. Like when I first immediately looked at it, I couldn't even tell where his face was and stuff. But I can't believe they made anima an uncommon. Hopefully it means that I can get it pretty easily. This Ramu art I think looks really cool as well. It's another one, like interesting color palette with like the red pinkish lightning. I think it looks pretty cool. It's a nice kind of different take. I think this is really nice. Cerberus alternate art. I think this one looks really cool. Like the yellow, black, and red and white. I think like the off-white combines together really nice. I think this is a really, really nice looking card. Freaked. Another cool looking card. Nice colors. Esper Origins. There's a transform here. That's pretty cool. Let's keep going. Fat Chocobo, alternate art. Nice, easy one to get. Common card, if you want it. Again, the Fenrir card is really damn good. This is so nice. Both of the Fenrir arts are fantastic. This was the other one, I think, yeah. Like, both of them, they're excellent. Like, the standard for Fenrir is incredibly high. Titan, this one I think is a bit too abstract for me in terms of the art. Where's the This Guy a Sick card? Ah, okay, here we go. So now we have these cards. Now, these are apparently also some of the most sought after cards. I'm sure someone can explain what the deal is with these and why, other than obviously just the art. But I think they're rare for starters. I think they're all rare anyway. And these alternates are particularly sought after. So they're more kind of anime style. They're not to everyone's taste, but some of them I think do look very cool. So here we have Cloud. 375. This one says supposedly 125. No, we still have Ixion to come. Hey Rinna, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to push my way as much as I can through towards the end. Dion. So these are much more like character portrait style ones, basically. Dion's got his transformation. This again, like this extended art on the back of Bahamut, I think looks super cool. The alternates with the number in the back, they're exclusive to the collector boosters, which is why they're so pricey. Okay, I see. But yeah, I think this depiction of Bahamut looks super cool as well. This is a cool card. Okay, another Go-Go card. Mythic. Jill's Dominant. This is her sort of alternate. I liked her original one better, I think, actually. I personally like this style better. But the Shiva on the back is really cool. Let's keep going. Arden gets another card. I think for Arden, my favorite so far is this one. I think I like this one a little more, just in terms of pure art. But all variations of his cards I think look cool. Different takes. Right, Cecil Dark Knight, another version. This is cool. So again, obviously different kind of art style, but I think it looks very cool. If you want it. 380. Yeah, this one's not too bad. Fang gets her own card like this as well. And then, yeah, again, this one transforms into Ragnarok like this. Another very cool card. Yes. So, yeah, this is a card that's going to be very sought after once again. The Sephiroth Fable Soldier card. Yeah, we have been. It's been almost 3 hours, but I'm probably going to wrap up soon. We have been through a lot of cards. So, yeah, this one is another special card that's going to be very much sought after. Vincent. Another cool art style. Is the art available outside the cards? That's what I'm curious to also find out in the future. We shall see. But honestly, even the standard Vincent card, I really like this one. Honestly, I think I like the style of this one more. This is really, like, again, Vincent just has really cool cards. It's totally up to your own taste, but I think this one I like even more. Okay, we've got another Final Fantasy 14 character here. Damn, that's cool. Okay, another Clive. That's a cool free as well. Firion, that one looks cool as well. Like, all of these type of ones, like, there's almost none of them are a miss. Prompto, he actually got his own card too. Damn. Okay. Yeah, so am I, Gordon. Don't worry, we're just looking at pretty cards. We're not doing too much more than that. Will people actually play with these decks? I think it's probably more collector than play, if I had to guess, but like in terms of the total, like surely only a small percentage of the actual full amount of cards will actually be used regularly and make their way into stuff, but I don't know. I don't know enough to really comment. But I do know that the collector side of it is probably going to be pretty huge, hence the prices. But there's the alternate version of Cypher. Looks cool again. I do like this one for Vaughn. Actually, I think this works better for him than this. I think like this one is the one on the left is more Vaughn than this one. Tifa, again, pretty powerful, popular card. Vanille, that's a fun card. I like that. And yes, she also gets the transformation. Who is fun? This is a nice Balthier and Fran card again. So they seem to always basically be appearing together. Emmett Selch card. Damn, yeah, that looks cool as well. Yeah, the Emmett Selch cards are definitely going to be pretty big money. Yeah, so people are going to play with the powerful ones, but when you say the powerful ones, what percentage of the entire set out of all the hundreds and hundreds of them would be considered quote-unquote powerful? I don't know, like 10% of them? 5% of them? Now, this card is also one of my favorites, Golbez. I think this is a really cool looking artwork. I think this is really nice. 1%, yeah, so that's what I mean. I think most of the rest of the cards will probably be like collector people. Can you... I assume you could probably already determine what's powerful and what isn't from the abilities, no? But I guess you'd probably have to see them in real play, but I guess you could theoretically already know what's powerful and not, no? But yeah, Golbez looks fantastic, I think, really nice. Good art for Hope as well. But these are like, almost all of them are just, they're really nice. Like, none of them, I would say, are a miss. Wow. This Phoenix is stunning. This looks really nice. Wow. I had not seen that one before. That's really, really cool. That's a beautiful Phoenix card. Wow. Stunning. Yeah, like the darkish blue on the front and then that on the back. That's really dope. Wow. Yeah, we've got another Kefka. As I said, there are many Kefkas, but the Amano one is far and away my favorite of the bunch. These are all cool and whatnot, but like these aren't... I wouldn't mind if I never had these. Okay, another Kuja Khan. Nice. Yeah, showing off those abs. Lightning Army of One card again. Yeah, all of Lightning's cards I think look cool. Noctis's card really nice. I really like that deep red background. I think that looks really cool. And his like sword, I think looks really nice. The detail on that. Squall. Yeah, these portraits are all just dope, man. Nice work. There he is again. Yes, another very popular card. Hope of Spira. I think a bit too anime-esque for some people, but it's going to be a very popular card, no doubt. Zidane. Anime tax $50. Yes. Here we go. So, MTG people, why don't you explain in more detail what the deal is with these? Long story short, these are supposed to be the most kind of, well, not this specific one, but in general, the traveling chocobos are probably going to be the most expensive ones of the set. So if you manage to somehow end up with some of these type of cards, that's money, basically. And the chat should explain it in more detail as I continue to scroll through, because we need to keep moving. So there's another Sid, Final Fantasy 2 Sid here. Okay, we've got them in order. Final Fantasy 3 Sid, nice. Yeah, so the text and the mechanics are the same, but obviously artistically we get to see different depictions across the series, so that's really cool. This one's nice. Yeah, 597 Sid, of course. Nice. 598. Needs to look more like Robin Williams. 599, and then of course the best one, the main man himself. This is a really cool looking art for Sid. Again, this is one of those like it's like unreasonably good. I think it's fantastic. This is a great card. 415, $4. I think this is a great card. It really is. 11. Okay. 12. This looks pretty cool as well. Sid Reigns. 513. 515 Sid. And of course, one of the absolute best. This one looks cool. Nice. And then we got another Ultima card. So this is starting to loop now, right? From what we've already seen. So what's left at this stage? There's some things we haven't seen at this point. Wait, so we hadn't seen Beatrix. Here on out is borderless. Did we see Beatrix the first time? I guess we must have. How do we get to the rest of the cards? Because like I know there's a few more that I definitely haven't seen. You're missing 8 cards unique to the starter kit. How can I find it from here? Is it because we're looking at Finn or whatever? Let me just change this for a sec. Yeah, so we've completed this entire thing now. Change from Finn to FCA. Okay. Can I just do it in the URL? I don't use this site very often, as you might tell. Yes, okay. So there's also these, and then we have FIC. So I'm going to do it in this like bigger grid form at this stage because we need to start to wrap this up. These are Final Fantasy Through the Ages cards. And these are reprints of old cards that have Final Fantasy stuff on them. And obviously a lot of Amano artwork on here. So it's worth showing these as well, of course, because these are some of the most iconic. These aren't original new arts for the game, but these are OG Amano artworks. And obviously some newer stuff as well. Battle of the Big Bridge, I think, was super cool. I think this one's one of the most expensive. The Dragon of Mount Golg, or whatever. Yeah, these are big money. Big money cards. But these are mostly all Amano, but the characters almost never fit the actual card. So that's kind of the one kind of downside a little bit, potentially, I guess. Like Terra is on Artificer card that would have fit Sid. Fair play. So this is kind of more purely if you're after the arts, I guess, but that still covers a decent chunk of people. So yeah, obviously the Amano art starts to filter out at some point. You start to move to different types. I'm personally so for example, these cards like the score card here, that's more what I was expecting this to be. When people first told me that, oh, there's this collaboration and this, that, the other, I thought we were just going to be seeing cards like the score card with images and promo stuff that we already know. And I just had no idea that there would be so many original new arts for this collaboration. So that's really what took my interest eventually. I just thought they'd mostly be recycling things we already saw. See you later, RPG Plus. Take care. So, like, again, the Stay With Me card for Final Fantasy X, obviously it's the one we all know. So I think like a card like that doesn't really do anything for me because my eyes are so tired from seeing that image endlessly over the years. Like having that card would mean little to me in that sense. It's just that I think the new stuff that I'm mostly interested in. Seeing arts that I haven't seen before. That Stay With Me is a chase because of the magic card. Fair play. So I guess it would be expensive. I can sell it if I get it. But you can see like some really cool looking stuff here. It's 200 a card, flipping out. Okay. Sephiroth the Savior. Like that one looks really cool. CityMorgue Guado. Again, even Lightning Lone Commando looks pretty cool. Oh, there's just so much. It's unbelievable how much there is. But yeah, this is that series. So then there's one final bit to scroll through. We need to do FIC. Yes. So, the Annabelle, what is the deal with these? Be a lot of cards. Come on. I think this one, again, to maybe speed it up a little, I should do the full grid because it will take too long. There's a lot of cards here. Let's do it the other way. Yeah, so these are commander cards. These are all in the commander decks. Okay. So these are cards that you will get if you buy the pre-constructed commander deck. So I brought, for example, the Final Fantasy X commander deck, and that means that this Tidus card, I'm basically guaranteed to receive one of these Tidus cards, correct? All 100 guarantees. So anything that I see on here that's Final Fantasy X, I will get one of these, correct? Yeah. So that's the reason I brought the commander deck, because I was like, at least I'm guaranteed to get a whole bunch of Final Fantasy X stuff, because if you just buy the collector booster or whatever, you could theoretically end up with 0 Final Fantasy X cards. And, well, let's just say you have 3 or 4 Final Fantasies that are the most important to you. You could end up with very little from those. You could end up pulling from Final Fantasies you care little about. And so I thought the best way to guarantee I get some cards for my favorite game is to buy the commander deck for that game. So, yeah, that's the idea. So let's have a look at some of these. These are cards you'd be guaranteed to get if you were to get the corresponding commander deck. So yes, let's have a look. We haven't seen a proper Auron card, and we finally have one. Now, if I'm being totally honest, this card is nice, it's good, it's fine, I like it, but I was left a little wanting. I kind of wanted a little more from this card. I was kind of hoping to see him in Dreams Anakin. I would have loved to see him in Dreams Anakin. The backdrop I think looks like Bevel to me, which is fine, it makes sense. But I don't know, for me I just wanted a little more. I'm not saying I don't like the card by any stretch, but obviously because it's Auron, I'm just like, I always have such a... I always want the best for him, you know. So both Auron and Anima, I think they're like, for me, they're like 8 out of 10, but I would have wanted 10 out of 10 because obviously they're 2 of my favorites. But he has a shooting star here, which obviously is super cool as well. So I will be getting at least one of these cards, so that's nice. So let's do continuation here. Chocobo Knights, so that's nice. Only a select few can become Chocobo Knights. You have to be a skilled rider, achieve some combat merit to become one. So a lot of these I haven't seen, so I'm just generally also kind of taking them in for the first time. Cyan's card looks cool, I have to say. Elena, Gata and Luzu card, there we go. We've got Gata out in front, so I guess he dies in this one. When Gata and Luzu enter, choose target creature you control. If damage will be dealt to that creature in turn, prevent that damage and put that many +1 counters on it. Okay. I have no idea what that infinite combo means, but it sounds cool. Lord Jiskel Guado has his own card. Listen to me very carefully, for I shall tell you the truth about my son Seymour. And then they got Protection Magic, which is pretty cool. And it has Yuna's quote the first time she uses it in battle, which is nice. Let's keep it going. I'm obviously going to focus a bit more on 10, but here you go. Tomorrow, if you're still around, there's your Ixion. She is there. He is there, sorry. And then Yojimbo as well. So, of course, we've got our summons represented here, which is nice. Summon Ascending. Cool looking art. Explains what the sending is. It's nice. So sorry I'm kind of ignoring the other Final Fantasies a bit here, but it's been over 3 hours. I do need to wrap it up. And there's a lot to get through. Blitzball Stadium included. Go for the goal. And we have Lulu. So finally she gets her own card, which is nice. So good to see. If you want everything, you'll end up with nothing. I would have picked the whole, no matter how dark the night, morning always comes and our journey begins anew, but that's probably too long. But still, it's really cool. It's nice to have a Lulu card, of course. But we also have an Owaka card, and I really like the artwork for him, actually. It's really nice. Say, lad, you wouldn't have a bit of gil to lend. So he's there too. So you get a lot of representation. Obviously, if you get the Final Fantasy X Commander deck, there's a lot there for fans of the game. Riku's artwork is pretty cool. Resourceful Guardian. It's a little bit unique compared to some of the others. And then you've got the Valor 4 Energy Blast. More Kefka. Shadow's card looks really cool here. There's Kate Sith. There was some people asking about Kate Sith. Gogo just got all the cool artwork, man. I guess because he got a mythic as well. Like even Gogo's standard one looks really cool. Avalanche. Sabin's card looks cool. Strago and Realm. It's nice to see those two together. There's just... all of these cards look so nice. There's so few of them that are just like... they look crap. Again, Vincent. Umaro, I think, looks really cool. The Boog. Bugenhagen, Wise Elder. He is there. So, of course, he had to be there. There's no way. But it's nice to see. The man himself is there. Yuffie, of course. Maester Seymour. Again, I think it's a cool art for Seymour. Now, we did joke about some people sent me the Sphere Grid card. And they said, like, you have to remove this from your deck. You're not allowed to play with the Sphere Grid card because you're like the no Sphere Grid guy. So I need to also collect Sphere Grid cards alongside my Hypello cards and gift them to anyone as like the no Sphere Grid guy. So if anyone wants any signed Sphere Grid cards, you can send them my way. Mega Sisters, I really like this artwork of the Mega Sisters as well, actually. Now, Trommel gets his own card, which is kind of, yeah. I didn't think he would be worthy of his own card, but there you go, he gets one. Yuna's Decision. Ah, that's cool. Continue the pilgrimage and find another way. I like that. Okay, Aerith Last Light, that's some nice artwork. Yuna's Whistle, that's cool. Barrett, Edgar, Emmett Selch once again. Yeah, I'll cross out the Sphere Grid and sign it. Yeah, that's how I do it. Now, Kimari's cards go hard. I really think Kimari might have the best for this set, like the FIC set. I think he might have some of the coolest individual arts. He's got a couple that he appears in. This is the first one. I think this one looks super cool with the behemoth chasing him down. I think that's really nice. Locke's art looks cool. He gets obviously Ronso Rage as well. I think that's nice. And then tap target creature an opponent controls. Then you may have Kimari become a copy of that creature. So again, mechanically sound as well. I like it. Sephiroth Fallen Hero card looks cool. I really like the red 13 as well. It's a great like action shot of him. Mog 2. Now, my favorite card of the Sins is Unending Cataclysm. I really think this one looks cool, actually. I really like that. Shalinda gets her own card. Yevon Acolyte. It should be lowly Yevon Acolyte, but truly, I know nothing of the ways of fighting, but I do know some white magic. But yeah, the Sin Unending Cataclysm card I think is my favorite Sin card, personally. Shalinda goes hard in the deck, damn. Fair play, man. The Setzer card looks really nice, by the way. This is a great shot of Setzer. And then we've got Waka, Blitzball Captain. I do like this Barrett artwork as well here, the Wrecking Ball arm. I think that looks really cool. Her quote should have been, "I'm just a lowly Yevon Acolyte," yeah. And then there's these, which are existing cards with Final Fantasy artwork laid on top, right? So these ones aren't going to have like specific, I guess, references to the game. But I mean, they've tried, you know, like, so you have like Clever Concealment, obviously, it's the shot of Cloud at the Don Corneo mansion. So I think that's brilliant. I mean, they've made an effort here. So good stuff. It's not just like the basics. This one's cool. Collective Effort. Great art here for the shot of them wedding crashing. I think that's great. I really like that. Then we've got Damning Verdict. The High Court of Yevon is now in session, but they've used... I like this one. The quote here is a good one. Yevon is embodied by Eternal Unchanging Continuity Summoner. And then we have Destroy Evil, where I guess she sends him for the 600th time. Farewell. Iconic moment. Great card. Stay with me until the end, please. Grateful Apparition. Bahamut's Faith in Dreams Anakin. Yeah, exile everything. Damn. Let's keep going. Promise of Loyalty, of course, the beginning. The Listen to My Story. This may be a large... This is just a nice card to have in general. It's just such an iconic quote and moment in the game. I think it's just really nice. Resourceful Defense has them fighting over after Tidus kind of breaks through the Cloister of Trials. Interesting. Now, one of my favorite arts, actually, when I saw this was Evray. Evray looks freaking sick. This is a great artwork of Evray. This is so cool. I love it. Great card in terms of its art. I think it's really nice. There's Secret Rendezvous cards. There's a few different ones of these, like all the different variations. I think some of them are valuable as well. Together Forever. Nice little art, Tidus and Yuna there. Vanquish the Horde. This goes hard. Like, this art of Diamond Weapon looks sick. I like that. Now, again, look at this artwork for Gioscano. This is sick, man. I can't believe how good that artwork is. It's like a, in that sense, like a generic card. It doesn't have its name. It's like a reprint and whatever. But this card goes so hard. It's a great card. I love it. Then you got Inexorable Tide. Sin attacking Dreams Anakin. Really nice depiction there. Then you've got Tidus when Riku joins. I guess this bit happens on the ship and not inside here, but I guess he kind of agrees here. I don't know, but it's good enough. I'm not going to complain about that one. Pull from Tomorrow. Interesting. yeah, it's good enough. In general, there's been so much great stuff that I'm not gonna complain here. Rise of the Dark Realms, this kind of ensemble shot of the Final Fantasy VI cast, I think looks superb. That's like a great wallpaper art. Like that's one that they should sell as a print. I think that would look so nice. I really like that. That needs to be... Yeah, I do feel like Auron's a bit underrepresented. Like Waka had like 5 cards because of Blitzball, and Auron only appears in 2. He appears like 1 solo and then 1 where he's kind of in the background. So I do think they did Auron a little dirty, considering how he's definitely one of the favorites of Final Fantasy X. And well, I'm sure his like, you know, samurai, swordsman, tanky archetype could have been used for some more stuff. And well, the fact that he's unsent and like there's a lot of lore with him that could be used. So yeah. Sinsport Gui, Bane of Progress. It's funny because obviously in the most recently in the auto haste kind of no sphere grid mod, we had a really long difficult fight against him. He was a bit of a Bane of Progress. But now Machen is here. He's another one where I was like, they better have my boy Machen. After seeing so many cards, I was like, they gotta have Machen in there, and thankfully they do. So the Farseat card belongs to Machen, and yes, they give him his quote as well. Fantastic. So especially for this community, gotta have Mage. Fight rigging is also pretty cool. Okay, let's keep going. Gaia Sage. It's a Final Fantasy X card. It's a Guado. Which Guado even is this? Who is this supposed to be? Interesting. It's got a Firefly and stuff around it. Fair enough. Hardened Scales. This one looks really cool as well. All of the artworks of Brass's Fine Leon definitely look cool. Now, this is the one that to me always looked weird. This one, like, their faces looked like they were made by AI or something, and it kind of didn't work. Like, just something about their faces just doesn't work here. I'm glad they have it as a card, because obviously, like, it's an iconic moment of the game. But I think it didn't help its case that they made the faces like that, you know? But, yes, cool card nonetheless. Then we got Ochu Rampant Rejuvenator. Yeah, they won't use the cringe all over again. Maybe the people who drew it had their own opinions on it. But I guess Auron is visible in this card before the Sperimorph fight. And then you've got Tireless Tracker. Yeah, Carithian, these are basically generic cards from Magic that kind of... they're reprints with Final Fantasy art, so they try to match it up as best they could. The ones with like official, like the more Final Fantasy mechanics that are linked to it, they're cards that we've already been through. It's not the entire set. Altered Ego, that's pretty cool. Like the Aeon's getting possessed by Yu Yevon at the end. I like it. And yeah, this is the other Kimari card. I think this one looks really cool as well. The fight against Biran and Yenke. Altered Ego is the only representation of Yu Yevon in the set. Fair enough. Okay, let's keep going. There's so many cards. It's unbelievable. Arcane Signet. There you go. The Tidus necklace, which I have one endless detour. You missed that one. Let's see it. Where is it? Ah, yes. Okay. Thunder Plains. Yep. I'm scared of lightning. Let's rest, please. Pretty please. At least they put the quotes in there to still link it a bit more closely to the game it comes from. Okay. Lightning Greaves. Okay. There's a bit of a gap here before Final Fantasy X reappears. There you go, the Soul Ring. Memories are nice, but that's all they are for the save sphere. Nice. Skull Clamp Genova is amazing. Yeah, true, actually. Another Kafka. This Obliterator art, I think, is fantastic. I saw this one as well, and this was another one where I was like, damn, like, Obliterator is such a, in the grand scheme, like, unimportant boss, really. And the fact that they made an artwork this cool for it, I was amazed when I saw that. Walking Ballista, great. I like that. Okay, some more land stuff. So we've got the Calm Lands here, Brushland, Calm Lands. Evolving Wilds. Is this Mushroom Rock, basically? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now, for a second I wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, it's there. This is cool. Guado Salam. I do like this depiction of the monster arena as well, actually. I think it looks cool. So much of my life has been spent there. And then, of course, you've got Macalania. Yeah, it is a Forge of Heroes, that is true. Okay, let's keep it going. I really got to wrap it up now. It's been a very long stream. I always knew it would be a long one to get through all of them, but we're nearly there. Radiant Grove, we've got the Far Plane. This is a really nice depiction of the Far Plane as well. Always been a hauntingly beautiful area. And right you are, Carifian. Port Town is Luca, another nice representation here. There's just so many. Yeah, so they left the Blitzball here for idyllic beachfront as well. That's nice. And then Hinterland Harbour has the big shoe puff. That's cool. So I guess this is the first... We actually get to see what it looks like. You know, we always wondered, you know, let's come back afterwards and see what it looks like. The entire river glows like a sea of stars. You actually get to see it. That's cool. I like that. Definitely some really nice touches. So I'm looking forward to receiving the Final Fantasy X Commander deck. And yes, there is a Did Sephiroth do this card. Seaside Citadel, Bevel. Yeah, this one's nice. Mihen. Temple of Mystery. They got Remiem in there as well. That's nice. Temple of Enlightenment, Macalania. Really nice. Tangled Islet, Kilika. There's some nice stuff there. Temple of the False God. Nice. All the depictions of Zanarkand have looked really nice. Anyway. Oh, wow. They even got the Barge Temple as well. That's cool. Come, Summoner, I will bestow you with my power, the Dark Aeon Anima. Wow. Temple of Plenty. So, like, the temples of Final Fantasy, they've done 10 have done a nice job with it, I've got to say. Okay, Command Tower variants. And then we've got Secret Rendezvous cards. And then we've got some extended art cards for some stuff. These are ones we've seen already in terms of their arts. But they're just prettier looking versions of the same card. So I think we can go through these pretty quickly. The Sphere Grid still got one too. Yeah, so these extended arts, they won't appear in your commander deck if you brought one, apparently. So you need to buy the other kind of individual packs or whatever to get them. So I think I'm going to go a little quickly through these because they're all arts we've seen, just bigger. Premium boosters to be specific. Now, these are some of my favorite cards. The Yojimbo card here is freaking sick. This is such a nice card. This is one of my absolute favorite arts. The kind of the finger raised before Zanmato, the colors here, it's fantastic. I really, really like this card. It's one of my favorites. This card's superb. I would definitely want this card. It's really good. One of my absolute faves. I like all of them here. I even like this one. I think this one's really nice as well. These are so nice. And then, again, one of my absolute favorites. This Valifor artwork is stunning. Another one of the absolute best. So nice. So, yeah, these summons, any of them, I'll take. Ixion I like the least of the bunch. It still looks really cool. But Yojimbo for me is a standout here, along with Valifor. Like, Valifor and Yojimbo look absolutely insanely good. And I'll definitely take a Magasisters as well. So, am I done now? There's these versions of these, which are even more expensive, of course, and rare. And then, yeah, then there's all these foil businesses. Okay. Oh. So, I think we're done, right? Is there anything else? Have I managed to show basically everything? I think we made it. There's secret lairs, which is just reprints. Okay, I think we're good. Whew. Good job. We made it through a crazy amount of cards. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this. As I say, I think like the one thing I'm interested in doing is potentially picking up lots of copies of the Rise of Shupuff card and the Sphere Grid card. And outside of that, I've already mentioned during the stream some of my favorites. If anyone wants to interact with me on those, they want to send me anything, they want to send me something to send back to them, sign stuff, whatever. With this stuff, I don't know what people want. If anyone wants to do any of those kinds of things, those transactions, then it's probably best to email me with kind of what you want, and we'll see if we can kind of work something out. I think for me, my intention with this was always, if I could pick up, I don't know, 5 to 10 of my absolute favorite cards and just have them as a small display, then that's something I would like to do. I don't want to, I've never had an intention to kind of have a whole bunch of them and put them in some kind of folder and just kind of keep them stored or try to flip them for loads of money or whatever. But obviously my standing in the community as a bit of a Final Fantasy guy obviously will probably gain me a few perks that others might not have. So if I can put that to use, I probably will to some extent. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So as I say, with this stuff, if you've seen this for the first time, you were just hanging out for the stream and you've seen this stuff and you're like, holy shit, I really want some of these cards. As I've said countless times, I'll say it one more time, just be careful with the prices. Probably best not to buy anything right now. Just hold your chocobos and just wait and keep an eye on the prices. Talk to people who do know about this stuff. If you're unfamiliar with all of this business, it's really foolish to kind of go in and start throwing your money around. You'll probably regret it. So just take your time. They're beautiful cards. They're really, really nice. If you're more interested in the art, maybe you just want them as prints, there'll probably be opportunities to find a lot of this stuff as prints as well. So just be patient, and hopefully you'll get what you want. So I think that's all I have to say. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll probably make some little video of me at least opening my one singular collector booster. You never know, something interesting might happen. I think the final thing I'll show you guys before I leave is, yeah, this one. For anyone wondering, like, what is the absolute apex? Like, if I pull this, I'm going to make a lot of money, and the ones that's going to be the most amount of money, it's these cards that you see here. So this golden serialized chocobo, there's 77 of them. That's the entire collection. If by some miracle you happen to pull one of these serialized traveling golden chocobo cards, you are going to be making a lot of money if you want to sell it, or if you're a collector in the purest sense, you're going to be an incredibly happy and proud collector that you have something so incredibly rare. So this is the card that everybody wants in terms of the money, in terms of the rareness, in terms of all of that kind of stuff. That's the special one. And the one tier down from those is basically stuff like this, one of my absolute favorites. And then where was the basically there's the other traveling chocobo. So there's the golden one, and then there's these other colored ones. Now these aren't serialized, so they won't be as expensive as this guy, but these ones will command a lot of money because they're very rare to find. And so if anyone ends up pulling one of these, again, you're laughing, but they are very difficult to find. So yeah, I think that's the final thing I wanted to mention. Like, these are, like, this card right here is literally objectively the most special card of the entire set. If anyone pulls one of these, you've got to let me know. I do wonder if I will know anybody who ends up pulling one of these, like, because the odds are pretty tiny. So I think I'll leave it with that. As I say, if anyone's interested in this stuff, just hit me up privately, and I'll see what I can do for you guys. And in the meantime, I'll be trying to collect some probably high pillow cards to potentially give away and that kind of thing in the future. So thank you all for joining me. Tomorrow at 3 PM, as usual, the Masters mod will continue, and in this episode I will be hopefully beating Brass's Final Aeon, so it should be a pretty epic episode that you do not want to miss, and I will see you guys there. In the meantime, in terms of live streams, I won't be around for the next 2 weeks. That's why I wanted to do this one today. I'm going to be going on holiday, taking a bit of a break from the channel, and I'll be back in about 2.5 to 3 weeks to continue with the auto haste mod when I'm ready. So take care, guys. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.